Because I have one, but it's not that wild.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever JoyClicks Conference Champion Wager War. I'm your host tonight. My name is Christian Buckley. I'm joined by the Apex legend, Jack Martin.
Beyond.
Welcome.
Beyond.
And the cozy conductor, Kevin Diaz.
What's happening? What's popping? How are we doing?
How you guys doing? We're all PlayStation fans. We're PlayStation at heart. I honestly, Sony Pony is accurate sometimes, I think.
Yeah.
You can
Definitely,
say that.
yeah.
Not in like the bad way where it's like, oh, we're PlayStation can do no wrong, but like,
yeah,
it's our preference.
We're
you know?
ride or die. We're ride or die.
Yeah,
Precisely.
I think that's fair. So what we're gonna do tonight? Let me explain this a little bit first. I didn't really brief you guys on the lore here, but basically, what's at stake tonight is the honor of being the first ever JoyClicks Conference Champion. Now, we saw this summer an unprecedented amount of conferences. And Kevin, I know you and I, we've almost done 100 podcasts together.
Damn.
Jack,
That's so many. Holy God.
we've been doing a lot of stuff. We talk about games all the time. We all like watching conferences, clearly. We did a ton of them this summer. Now, I think it's only right that amongst the three of us, potentially this expands in the future, one of us should be crowned the conference champion. And now what that is going to be, you get a nice little virtual belt, I guess. It's your lower third, can be used everywhere. Exclusive to the champion. We also...
Like WWE.
Exactly.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
We also, whoever is introducing whatever show the champion is on, they have to be introduced as the JoyClicks Conference Champion.
Okay, I like this.
Does that replace or is that additive? Like, well, theoretically, if Jack wins, is he also the Apex legend, the conference champ of JoyClicks?
That is...
Like Andy Cortez has like 1,000
Yeah.
Sure.
titles.
Click in the heads, rig him the shreds, whatever, globe-trotting headshot. Yeah.
That is...
Should it be up to the winner?
Exactly, thank you. That is up to the champion. Now, basically...
I'll let you guys know which one I want.
Yeah. So what we're going to do tonight, we have 15 wagers. As you can see, I forgot to hide the first one. So the first one that we'll be wagering on is listed up top. But before we get to any of that stuff...
I gotta say, this looks incredible.
Thank you. I put some work into this.
Very impressive.
As you see, this is the PS5 event edition. We are betting on bets, wagers, things that will be happening during the PS5 event, which occurs tomorrow, September 16th. And we have some stakes. Because, yes, the champion is everlasting until the next event. But the stakes, there has to be a fire. You can't just be betting willy-nilly. You gotta have some consequences. So while the winner's introduced as the JoyClicks Conference Champion until they have to defend their title at whatever the next event edition of Wager War we do, the losers, and I'm about to reveal this to the chat, the losers must write and read one page of 12-point font typed Crash Bandicoot fanfiction on the next group stream.
That sounds exciting. Now, how rated X are we getting with this?
Hey,
like how bad are we talking here?
I never said it had to be sexual. That's the thing.
Listen.
Come on.
Okay, Kamala Khan won a fan fiction contest and got to meet the Avengers.
I just beat Crash 1. I saw Crash Scuba Baby Girl. I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
If I had to write a Crash Bandicoot fanfiction, sexual being it being sexual will be a part of it. Like that'd be necessary.
As well as somehow crossing it over with the Flash. I don't know how exactly. Perhaps Sonic as well. You know what I'm saying? But all the speedsters.
Oh yeah.
Crash isn't fast.
I like to think it's fast.
With Sonic, he could be.
All right. Well, you call him a one wump chump.
Hey, it sounds like this could be. It's honestly more of an incentive to lose at this point.
Hey, that's what you want to do. Just let me win. So there are rules. I meant to type these out ahead of time, but the rules are typed in the doc that I shared with both of you. They are not available on the viewer stream yet. I can add those as we go on through the night. The official wording: the following are bets to be wagered on during the September 15th JoyClicks Tuesday night group stream. Every bet refers to the main show from beginning to end unless stated otherwise. So we're not counting pre-show unless the bet specifies during the pre-show, in the post-show, on Twitter. Everything that we're wagering on has to be in the 40-minute presentation. I believe that's the only rule. So, do you agree to these terms, gentlemen?
Yes.
Okay. So, Jack, is there any doom and gloom in the chat about how we're performing right now?
Nope. I see no issues. What's up to Omar, Shadow Wang, Owen in the chat?
Very nice.
Good to have you.
Big ups. Shout out to Owen. Big ups.
If we all agree, then why don't we just dive into it?
Let's do it.
So the first bet, I'll be keeping track for everybody's answers when I grab my laptop. Will the event start later than 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? 1 p.m. Pacific.
So you mean there will be no technical hiccups and it will start before 4:01 p.m. essentially? Is that the spirit of this question?
The spirit of this question is 4 p.m. on the dot. When we're reacting on PlayStation Source, will the conference get going? Are we going to be late? Going to have technical hiccups? Are there going to be 6 timers after the time it's supposed to start? Like, what are we thinking?
Oh, I see now. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. Well, I mean, because I was going to get really annoying and really technical and say that it'll never start later than 4 p.m. Because for me, it'll be 1 p.m. No. I'm not going to do that.
Well,
I get what you're saying.
So what should we narrow? We're already getting in the nitty gritty. How should we narrow this down? Like, what does it mean to start? Like, do we? If there's another timer, like what you were saying, is that it starting?
What does that mean to start?
Here's the thing. Personally,
you can quote me on that.
Fuck yeah.
Personally, I think the definition of start means that it would, with the event start, I would give them like a 5-minute timer, I think. Because it's like, if it's like, here's the thing. If it is a timer that is thematically tied to what like the flow of the presentation is, that's fine. If it's just like a generic YouTube timer, no, that doesn't count. But I mean, like, if somebody went out of their way to make graphics for this presentation, like if we just get a blue screen that has like the swirls going on it, and then it's like 60, 59, 58, 57, and then at the end it fades into the PlayStation Studios logo, I would say that counts as the event starting. Like, once that 60-second thing appears, right? So,
gotcha.
If it's just some random analog timer that somebody pulled up and got off of Google, then I wouldn't count that.
I got this. If it's a third-party timer, like a YouTube timer, doesn't count. If it's a homemade first-party timer that's baked into the design of the stream, then that's a W. Then that is the start of the stream. You know? Yeah. I can get behind that. I do think that we will get at least 2 timers, and then we'll get a sizzle reel at the beginning, because come on. You know,
sizzle reel counts as beginning.
Yeah. That counts. I mean, that counts.
Yeah. We gotta get a hype sizzle reel. Because the thing is that, like, if we're going by seconds, I mean, it's hard to start right at 4 p.m. on the dot. You know what I'm saying? So, like, but
it's really only a minute of grace period that you have. Yeah.
I'm willing to put down that in between the time it hits 4 p.m. specifically and before it hits 4:01. So within that 1 minute, 4 p.m. where we have that many seconds to chill, 60 seconds, I'd be okay with saying, it will start on the dot, and it won't start later than that.
I think that is fair. I think the spirit of it is that, you know, so like I think if we're all on the same page with that, then that's fine.
Cool.
I think it will not start later than 4 p.m.
Same. Okay, same.
And so my answer is no, it will not.
My answer is also no.
I mean, if you're both gonna say no, I feel like I have to say yes. So I'm gonna say
I mean,
it will start after 401.
Here's a little like rules and regulations thing. Should we switch up like how we answer it? So like, because if someone always answers at the very end or someone always answers at the very beginning, there might be a disadvantage. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, sure, yeah.
I see what you mean. So,
I answered first this time.
Do you want to do like round robin? So like next one's Kevin, next one's me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that.
That works out too because there's 15, so we'll each be going once 5 times.
Perfect.
First, I mean.
That's a way better idea. I was gonna say everyone just say at the same time, like an idiot. But...
yeah, we get our final Jeopardy whiteboards, right? That's what we want to do. Let me transition to the next question then. And again, I guess this also counts as rules. None of these are locked in until the final wild predictions wagers that comes after all 15. Mm-hmm. So before we end the stream tonight, any last minute changes are eligible, but when the stream ends, everything's locked in.
Yeah, but you're keeping track as we go, correct?
Yes. So I can alter these if we need to at some point.
Cool.
Okay, next up. Will Kratos get more than 3 kills? Kevin Diaz. What are you thinking? Where's your head at?
We need to define which Kratos we're talking about, because if we're talking because if you guys recall during the PS5 reveal, they did a historical scissor rope where we went over from that 97, whatever the PS2 came out, I forget, you know what I'm saying, 2006, I don't know, right? So if we're including that Kratos, like previous footage, then I think 3, I think I could possibly see it, but then at that point they're not really showing combat in that. I'm gonna say no.
It could be
because
him swinging an axe and killing someone.
Damn it! But like 3 times, man, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say no for any Kratos, even the Kratos that we haven't seen in God of War 2, because I think if we do see a God of War 2, it's a very limited, maybe some VO, maybe just a logo. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we actually see any killing, and if we do, I don't think it's going to surpass 3, so I'm going to say no.
Okay, so Kevin's saying no, Kratos will get fewer than 3 kills.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, and that again, we can discuss this a little bit because the bet is written presuming Kratos is going to show. So
I feel like that could be any Kratos, like what Kevin was saying, like sizzle reel Kratos or God of War 2 Kratos. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of everything, I'm going to be listing the names in the same order. So like Jack, Kevin, Christian, just like I'll fill it in as we go, just for the sake of like being able to track it easy. So Kevin is saying no, Kratos will not get more than 3 kills. Now, Kevin, is that doubt of God of War showing up? Like, do you think that's mainly just because you don't think it's like an older Kratos that we've seen in 2018 isn't as violent, or do you think that we just don't see God of War 2 here?
Oh no, I just don't think we see God of War 2. I'm not sold on the props. Like, I can see it, but if it is going to be there, I think it's going to be obviously very, very limited, very, very quick. Like, honestly, I could see it being like 30 to 45 seconds, very quick. But if I were a betting man, like saying, okay, like is
which
God
you
of
are
War
right
2
now,
be here? I don't think so. I think that God of War 2 sells itself, I feel like, so you can whip that out whenever, perhaps do a similar vein of like Uncharted PS4 when there wasn't a working title for it, and it was just Uncharted for the PS4 that got announced like 6 hours before the actual PS4 launched on that same day that got released. So I can see something like that, but I think that you don't need God of War right now.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'll give my answer next, just for the sake of keeping the round robin going the way it's gonna end up being. Here's the thing. That's not what I want. I'm kind of on the same page where I think, I think God of War will show here, but I think it is what you're pitching, Kevin. I think it's going to be a short, less than 20-second teaser. Because for me, I think what PlayStation does is they sell ideas, especially early on. Like, we saw this sort of later in the PS4 generation, but we eventually got to a point where it was like, hey, not much coming out this year, but over the next 3 years, let me tell you what you're getting, So I feel like they might want to keep that momentum going, because we just finished that cycle of like the next few years of games. The last announcement wave of those ended with Ghost of Tsushima, so now we got nothing, And we did granted get Horizon and Miles at the PS5 reveal, but I feel like they might want to keep that up,
Also, Barlog changes header to some very cryptic things. Did you guys see that?
I didn't.
I did not.
If you go to his Twitter, his header is in a different language. I don't know what it could be, but it's some very like cryptic things.
Is it like not written in Norse? Is that what it is? Like Nordic writing?
I mean, I don't know Norse well enough to even say it is.
Not fluent in Norse.
You know what I'm saying? But like, it might be. I don't know. Like, I can put it in the chat for you guys. But
okay. So yeah, I'm gonna say no, but I do think we're gonna see God of War. So I'm coming at it from the angle of like, it's an old Kratos. Even in God of War 2018, I feel like his kill count wasn't as high as it was in the trilogy. So.
Oh wait. Fuck. Oh no.
What? What
you got, Kev?
His Twitter picture is ice. Fuck. God damn it. Oh wait. His profile picture is ice.
That's a good point. That's fair. I will try to bring this over to the. Okay, well, you just sent me the individuals, but yeah. So I think God of War is gonna be there, but I don't think it's gonna be Murder Spree Kratos. I think if anything, honestly, it could just focus on Atreus. I think it could be like just Atreus and the visuals with like a Kratos narration. So I don't think it's gonna be bombastic like fuck yeah Kratos. Like I don't think that's what we're getting.
Yeah.
Jack, what about you?
My short answer is no.
Okay.
I actually don't think it'll be there. I think they're going to focus on featuring launch window gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Like Spider-Man will be a heavy focus, I'm sure. And then I think there's something up their sleeve, like a lot of people have been saying, that's coming in hot. And be like, hey, we held that on this announcement. Here you go. So I think that'll be the big stinger. I don't think God of War shows up here.
Okay.
But quick answer, no. No more than 3 kills.
Yeah, I think, again, sound logic. There's no reason to believe this is going to show up, but it's just a matter of faith,
Right.
Are we good to move on to the next one?
Do it.
Okay.
Oh, Omar saying you can't announce God of War 2 without a live orchestra. It's a fair point.
That's a very good point, too.
I'll push back on that a little bit. I don't think you can recreate that initial reveal. I think if you did, you just risk making it not as impactful. I think you have to do it a different way. And I think doing it a different way would be focusing on Atreus and make the second God of War game in this presumed trilogy be more of a torch passing to him. And then the third game is like the Atreus game where he breaks the cycle and like ends everything. I think if that's where we're going with this story, the reveal should be focused on Atreus, and I think you have to make that in a reveal abundantly clear that the person you're looking at isn't Atreus, right? And that it is God of War 2. Like, if you make it an ambiguous thing where it's following Atreus, it's like, is this a new IP? Like, is this another thing of like someone walking in the snow with a bow and arrow? Like, I think you run a risk of that personally, but
I can't wait though.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Oh, it's gonna be fire.
Next up, got cut off a little bit. Let me resize it. But will there be an obvious dig at Xbox and or Microsoft? Example, the Shuhei Adam Boys video where they were like, "This is how you share games," and then they handed it over. I think there's a lot of flexibility here in terms of what an obvious dig is. We can try to define what we would see this as now. If there is contention,
yeah, I think this needs a lot of explanation.
Sure, if there's contention for any of these bets, it is written in the document that it will be sent to the Order, and the Order will decide our fate. So Sir Galahad, hope you're good on his side. But Jack, I think you're leading this one. So where's your head at with this one?
I think it's you actually. Aren't you the first?
I just won. I just did. Did I? No. Sorry, this is me. Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Right.
On the next one.
Right. Okay. So an obvious dig at Xbox Microsoft. What I'm thinking, I think in my head, what I would say is an obvious dig is still subtle. Like, I think it's gonna be along the lines of no compromises, stuff like that. It's like you don't miss out on anything. Like, and that I think is very vague. Yeah, that's where I'm coming from. Like, I think that's the obvious choice to have a dig that's like we all know, but
yeah.
It still is very vague, because when you say no compromises, you could be saying we just didn't make compromises, like I think it's a little nebulous.
I say if you can make a good case for this one,
mm-hmm.
if you say yes, then you should get it. But I guess we can decide that after the fact.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Like, I think like with this one, we know what we're looking for with this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think like it should be just like if we call it on stream, okay, yeah, like that's it right there. Like that's I'm talking to Xbox. Yeah. And I think that is as obvious that it needs to be. I think.
Sure.
Yeah,
I would say honestly yes. I think we're gonna have a dig there. Whether it's about not being a compromise or something like trust us, it'll be worth it, like something like that. When they reveal that it's like $1,000, they're like, you're gonna want this, don't worry. Like,
2 jobs.
Yeah, like I think I think they're gonna be cocky about it on that angle, so I'll say yes, that there will be an obvious dig, like we'll all be like, that's it. So I'm expecting that.
I think I'm up next.
You are.
I'm gonna say yes, because I can see them saying, we here at PlayStation believe that generations matter, and this is gonna be a leap to the next generation, something like that, Now, and like that would be a clear dig, I'd say. So I think something along those lines will happen.
Is that a clear dig though? If that's been their whole like slogan since they revealed the thing of like we believe in a hard cut generation.
I would say just based off the conversation of like Xbox going to more of like a iterative type of building on the platform as opposed to like a new platform. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I would wait.
Something along those lines I think will happen. Whether that's an obvious dig or not, I think it is, personally. I would argue that, because you're directly, well, I guess indirectly, talking about your competitor in that sense, which is like Xbox.
If Xbox was doing a regular thing, not regular, but like a more historical type of way of going to next gen, then they would have no need to say that.
Yeah, that phrase would never be uttered, because it wouldn't make sense. But like,
yeah, it'd be like,
I think that
like, obviously
something like that will happen. So yes, my answer is yes.
Okay, Kevin, it sounds like you're on the same page. Or you could just take the opposite and try to come away with it if you think that the odds aren't fully there in your favor. But what do you think? Where's your head at?
Part of me kind of wants to go like, no, they're just going to focus on just, hey, we're going to pitch you the PS5. Old-fashioned style. Here it is. You know what I'm saying? We're going to let the gamers speak. You know what I'm saying? And see what they want out of these two offerings. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it's likely, but I could potentially see it. But I think that even like in the way of them pitching it, I think we could also come away with, oh, that was a dig, even if it didn't intend it per se. Like maybe that could also be it, but then it's like, is that obvious? We get into that whole rigmarole.
Right.
But
I think this question will be decided after the show.
Yeah, definitely. I think specifically obvious means like it's very clear it was done with intent. Like, yeah, it's not an accidental thing, I would say.
Right.
I'll say no, just to make it fun. I think they're gonna pitch it. I mean, I could see them pitching it on like, we're just gonna talk to the people, sell this thing. Here's the price, release date, pre-order next week. Here's SOCOM. Here's Last of Us multiplayer.
Mm.
So you're gonna go with no then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll go with
All right.
Why not?
Next up, copying and pasting. Let's go. This one, we're gonna have to throw out some numbers. Okay. So be as specific as you want.
Should we go closest without going over? Should that
Yes.
be the decider here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have a couple bets where it is a number, and it is, in most cases, there's one that's specified differently. Whoever's closest without going over, we can do that for numbers. So,
cool.
First up, for the numbers. How many times will we hear, quote, true 4K gaming? I believe this is Jeff
this is me,
first.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to lowball it. I think I'm just going to throw out the number 2.
2? Okay.
We hear it twice. Again, that's a lowball. I'm playing the game here.
Mm-hmm. I believe Kevin's guess is next. Wager, sorry.
I'm thinking like intro, right? We brought you guys the first look at PS5 back in June. Your true look at 4K gaming and next generation. I'm thinking an outro as well. Why not sprinkle a little 4K gaming in there? I think there's one more in the middle that we can do. Well, they'll say like, we're gonna bring the Demon Souls remake that you've just seen in true 4K fashion. I think 3.
3. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with 3. I think beginning and end, and then maybe somewhere in the middle. But honestly, I kind of want to say 4. But I think
now
we'll go with 3.
Here's the thing, Kevin. I'm saying 4 because.
Damn it. Yeah, I know.
Listen, yeah, I think you're right. We got a beginning, we got an end. There's an off chance that we get a game in there that's specifically like Ratchet and Clank in true 4K. Like
true 4K. Yeah, exactly.
I think that we may we have 2 boxes. We have 2 boxes that I'm sure they're going to address what they perform like. And I think in the beginning and end of like wrapping up what the consoles do, when they get to the segment talking about the digital edition and they clarify that there's no compromises, unlike the Xbox Series S, it does do true 4K gaming. So I think that when it's specifically tied to the hardware, because there's 2 boxes, to make it abundantly clear that there are no compromises, I think there's at least 3 of those, and I do think that you're on the right track with like a Demon Souls or a game being upgraded.
Spider-Man Miles Morales in 4K. They've confirmed that.
Sure.
Now, is this truly spoken word, or can we also see this on screen?
It says here.
Here.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
spoken.
specify. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just spoken. All right.
Yeah.
Because like from a writing perspective, like if I'm editing something I'm writing, if I'm editing something I'm writing and I'm like, oh, how many times did I use this word?
Mm-hmm.
And then I like Control F it. I'm like, oh, dude, I used this like 5 times. So I feel like they're gonna be like, I mean, again, they probably do want to hammer it home, but I'm going with 2. For sure.
Okay.
What about, so 2, 3, 4. There we go.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
That's good.
We're all playing the low. There we go.
Also,
that is the game. We are playing the game.
4 for 4K. So maybe I just get lucky.
Damn.
We'll see.
Okay, next bet. This is bet number 5. Will the PS5 launch before or after the Xbox Series? Including S and X, because I don't know how to write it other than Xbox Series.
Yeah, I got what you're saying. Okay, so we know that they're launching the 10th, right?
Yes, November 10th.
On Tuesday. Black Friday's the 27th. So for me, I see either 13th or 20th. If I remember correctly, the PS4 release date was a year. No, not a year.
But either way, it's after the way you're saying it.
I'm an idiot. You're right. Yeah, I don't think they go before. Yeah, no, I just don't see it. I don't know. There's been talk too about a late October release. I'm like, that sounds interesting, but I don't know if that's true. Also, yeah, I want to say after. I think there's a lot of breathing room there, and I don't necessarily think that like the first system to hit the market has that big of an advantage, low key. Like there's definitely an advantage, but I don't think it's as aggressive as like price, for example.
Sure.
You know, as long as like it's around the same time, it's fine. You know, but yeah, I think I'll say after comfortably.
Now, Kevin, it's interesting you say that price is a bigger advantage than time. They both have an advantage, but you think price is more than time is?
To a certain degree. I think when you start looking at like no, I mean yeah. I think price overall still means a lot. I think I don't know if it showed a lot more because it was $100 cheaper during like PS4 and Xbox One, and both the boxes were pretty comparable, as opposed to like if you're between like a PS5 digital edition or like a Series S, and like hypothetically there's like $100 in between them. Like could the consumer be swayed to spending that extra 100, knowing that they'll get the full like spec sheet?
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So that's what I would say. So, but like I think overall, I think it matters a little bit more than time. I think
the reason I ask is because there's a world where Xbox gets some multipliers going and they have the advantage on price and they're out first. So I think it's going to go before, personally. I think that regardless
I feel that.
of whatever happens, the PS5, the lowest point of entry for the PS5 is still going to be more expensive than the lowest point of entry for the Xbox, I think. So considering that is probably the world we're going to live in, I think having the box out maybe a week before, or maybe that October thing is true, like I think that gives them an advantage where there's that excitement, you know, the impulse purchase where maybe the Xbox is $100 or $200 cheaper, but that's in November. I want it now, you know, like I think doing that strategically might be the right call, especially if they didn't have a ton of wiggle room on the price. And also there were those reports that they were doing it by air, right? So they're trying to get these things in fast.
Yeah, that's confirmed. Yeah, they are using 767s, I think, to ship them out, which is more expensive than using a ship.
Yeah, so why the rush? You know, like I think Xbox is being manufactured in the same area, so like I don't know if they're doing that, but I think if PlayStation is in a rush where they're willing to eat more of a cost to get these things in faster, I think that where price might not be something they can compromise in, time could be. So I'm going to say it's before.
I'm going to say after. Okay. Because even though PlayStation right now has the advantage because they're coming after Xbox and I guess they have more wiggle room. I don't know the business aspect of, can we launch like a week early now? I honestly don't understand that. I don't know if this date has been in place for months or if they're coming up with it like very soon. But I think Xbox is coming to party this generation, and they couldn't launch at a more expensive price. So they're going lower price. And I also think they're going to be first to launch because I think they really want people to get in this generation because they did not come close to PlayStation last gen. So I think Xbox will come before. So PlayStation will launch after.
Now, I'll have this question for both of you. Do you think I've heard this discussed on some podcasts over the last like week or so? Do you think seeing someone like a Ubisoft move the release date for Assassin's Creed up to the launch of Series S and X, do you think that's indicative of when PS5 could be coming? Like, do you think, with specifically the case of Assassin's Creed and Xbox, we've seen them have partnerships before where Xbox is the stage at E3 that gets the first look at Assassin's Creed, and then you see the rest during the Ubisoft conference, right? So like they have an allegiance there where they really don't with PlayStation. So do you think the move for Ubisoft to get, I would say, their biggest title this year, like to launch in time with the next gen Xbox, do you think that means the PS5 is coming after, or do you think that they didn't care about when the PS5 launched and they just wanted to get it earlier so they could keep up that Xbox synergy? Like, do you think that means anything?
I think that's just more telling that it's coming after, right? Like the way I saw that was like maybe they just said, "Hey, it's coming out X date before Series X and PS5 even set their dates, right? I mean, before Series X did, right?
Mhm.
So, but maybe they knew back of mind, like, all right, the game's gonna be done to hit really anywhere in November, right? But let's just say a date now, and we'll wiggle it, whatever happens.
Sure.
You know, that's how. I mean, I doubt that's how it actually works. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe that's a lot like to assume, but that's how I kind of understood it. And like I feel like you know, if they're gonna move and double down on Series X, I think that means that the game will already be out when PS5 comes out.
Sure.
Which would be after, I think. You know?
Mhm.
But I don't know. That's just what I thought. Like I thought like they just had wiggle room to just work with that release date.
Yeah. Jack, do you think any different?
I don't think it's really indicative of much. I think they're trying to probably get close to launch, but like they it's not going to be a launch game, right? So I don't think it really matters.
Sure. All right. Next up, this one. It's personal. Will Sly Cooper steal something? I think Jack, are you first on this one?
I think it's you. I think I'm next.
Oh, wait, no, it's you.
I'm adding 3 in my head to the question.
Okay.
So we're on question 7. Or we're on question 6. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I just went first. Yeah. So
okay.
So
here's the thing. Obviously Ratchet's had a great time this generation, right? We got a nice reboot. We got a movie remake. Sorry. We're getting a new one for next gen. Jack got some love. Jack was on the PS4 shop. You get all those games, even the bad one. No love for Sly. No love for Sly. And considering, I'm not saying Sucker Punch is going to be the one to make the game, but considering Sucker Punch began and closed the PS4 generation, I think spiritually we will see something regarding one Sly Cooper. Now, question for you guys, because I realize the wording of this bet kind of painted me into a corner. Does stealing my heart count?
No, Christian, it does not. This is the real answer is when you're sneaking up behind Sly Cooper, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're stealing people's coins with your hook.
Okay.
That's stealing.
Now,
if he's just showing up like in like a sizzle reel and like there's a 360 spin around him, and Omar is pointing out that Oculus owns Sanzaru. Yeah, Sly Cooper's dead.
But does Sanzaru own Sly Cooper? Do they own that, or does PlayStation still own that? Because PlayStation Productions is working on a movie.
PlayStation owns it.
I just checked that. I believe PlayStation still owns the Sly Cooper IP. I think. I'm still looking into it.
Okay.
But I think they
it makes sense for Sanzaru to own that. You know, like why would a random studio own a major IP?
Now
that'd be like if Santa Monica owns God of War, which I don't think
which they don't. Yeah, no, yeah. I don't think, because we had oh my god, Order 86.
Yeah, Ready at Dawn.
Ready at Dawn make God of War games.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, we would for some go with me. If randomly we get a new trailer for that Sly Cooper film or show or whatever it was to like push PlayStation View.
Or like productions,
sure. Like if we have a weird, remember that E3 where it was like a bunch of cool PS4 stuff, and I think they showed Infamous Second Son, and they're like, "You guys like superpowers? Check out this show, Powers, only on play." Like, is there a shot? Is there a shot they want to? Because listen, PlayStation Productions, we haven't seen the fruit of that yet, really.
Well, Christian, we have to remember this event is called the PlayStation 5 event. It's not called the PlayStation event.
But
it would make no sense for that to show up here, I think.
But what better way to push PlayStation Productions in our faces, U2 style, than putting an app on the dashboard for this PS5 UI that we're going to end up seeing that just says PlayStation Productions Originals? I'm going to say yes. I think Sly Cooper's going to steal something.
Wow. I say it's tough because he could be in a sizzle reel and
that counts.
Some coins.
If he steals
that definitely does count. That definitely does count.
Yeah, no,
but I'm gonna say
definitely.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no.
I think this is like your Vita. Like this would be like me like wanting a Vita too.
Sure.
It's just not gonna happen. Like maybe this is a little bit more likely than a Vita too.
Sly's been gone for a very long time.
Why just get a fucking trilogy remake and shit like
that? That's the other thing too, because Ratchet had the movie. Ratchet had the movie, and they did a remake of the first game. Sly Cooper has a movie coming.
I love Sly probably as much as anyone on this. I think Sly Cooper's dead. To be completely honest with you,
I swear on my life, if they pull up a Sly Cooper remake, I'm gonna like eat a shoe. I don't know. I'm gonna deep fry a shoe and just eat that thing.
So I'll take that as a no, Kevin.
Yeah, no, I mean, the only stipulation I could see is like a Sizzle Road type deal, but that's like, why would he even be in there?
But what if it's a backwards compatibility? Like, what if it's a shadow drop? What if you're like, actually, you know what? The best of the best from every generation. We got Crash Bandicoot, we got Sly Cooper, we got Ratchet Jack, Cole McGrath, the Resistance guy.
Here's the thing.
If we see Cole McGrath in here, Christian, I will literally eat a hat.
Oh, I fucking love to see it. Oh, god damn it. Let me see the Halloween.
No, what?
But I could see Sly Cooper in one of two things. One, sizzle reel, or two, some sort of PlayStation Now thing. like some like sort of like sizzle reel for PlayStation Now or whatever. I could see that maybe because Thieves in Time is on PS Now. And I think all the other ones.
The trilogy is too, yeah.
It is, right? Yeah, okay.
Because, guys, here's the thing. Sackboy's not dead. If Sackboy's not dead, and listen, I love.
Sackboy has a huge appeal compared to Sly Cooper, I think.
Oh,
true,
shit.
But the thing is, do you ever expect going to the last presentation to just get a random ass Sackboy adventure game?
That's really fair, but like,
because that guy should have been the mascot of PlayStation, dude. I freaking loved Sackboy in Little Big Planet, and then they just left him out to die.
Sackboy was huge though. Like they would make like Sackboy toys, and those would like fly off the shelves.
Yeah,
like
I don't know why they stopped.
Yeah, I think Sackboy is more of a, it's weird to think this, but he's more of a face of PlayStation than Sly Cooper is at this point.
Oh yeah, I don't think
regardless of the new game that's coming out.
Yeah, I don't think that's wrong. I think you're probably right. Like he's more recognizable for sure. It's just wild world we live in to see Sackboy coming back from the dead after like 7 years.
Yeah, if that was on like a leaked like page or whatever, I would have thought that was entirely fake. Like that was not. Yeah. Like no, that's completely false. But no.
All right. Next bet. This is another number one, so we don't go over. How many things will Miles punch?
This is gonna be tough because I think they're gonna show gameplay.
Okay. Yeah, they definitely will.
So
this is me first, I believe, right?
Yes.
Oh, apologies after you, good sir.
No, all good, all good. I think. Okay, so by things like, let's say he's in a fight, right? Each person counts as one thing.
One thing.
Like he's not gonna punch him 3 times. That doesn't count as 3 things.
No.
Okay. I think he punches 15 things.
15. Okay, nice even number. Any reason behind that? What do you think we're seeing in this demo?
Nope, just throwing that out there. We're gonna see like a gameplay chunk in the vein of the Puddles Spider-Man gameplay demo.
If there's a fucking puddle in Miles Morales gameplay, I'm gonna cry because goddamn, we're gonna do all over.
No, I'm gonna tell you the trailer or the segment for it is gonna open up. It's gonna be a shot of a puddle in Times Square reflecting everything, and then somebody's gonna run through it, and then it's gonna pan out to see the person running away.
Oh, that's so because then they can show ray tracing, but also they can just make a jab at us, like, and that whole thing. I think it's a lot more than 15. I think there's a lot more goons after Miles than we think. I kind of want to double it just to be safe, but is 30 too much? I mean, I'm trying to. No, 30 definitely sounds a bit excessive because I'm trying to think back to. Let's see. Okay, so 40 minutes. I'm thinking we get like at max 7 minutes of gameplay. I think. Maybe 7. Yeah, I think maybe 7. Honestly, maybe less, but maybe 7. So how much can he do? I mean, we gotta set up the story, we gotta set up the world, we gotta introduce Miles and stuff like that, into like how that all looks in game.
If you want a second to think about it, I have another question for you guys in terms of logistics.
Yeah, so how many things? It's not like how many punches.
No. It's like
will he land?
Individual things.
An individual
it's individual things. Okay.
Now, question for you guys. If we all overshoot it, just in the sake of having the points be competitive, do you think we should just give it to the person who is closest if we all blow past it? Or
Yeah.
I think
sure.
closest
for this specific question. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. I'll say 20.
20. Okay.
I think 20. Because I'm trying to think of this.
Christian's gonna say 21.
No.
21.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. No. I think I'm gonna stick with 20.
Okay. I'm gonna say 10 because two reasons for this. One, I think Kevin's in the ballpark, right? I think we're probably gonna get 5 to 7 minutes of Miles because it's only a 40-minute presentation. That's not really a long time if you're counting like introductions, closings, talking heads, console descriptors. Like, I think you guys are over. Like, really think about 20 or 15 distinct things. That's a lot of stuff on screen.
Like 15's that much. That's why I went that low. Like
sure.
10. I understand your rationale, and I'm with your rationale.
Mm-hmm.
I think 15 falls into that.
But
because like if I had to think, the reason why I say that is because if I had to think of like the Spider-Man demo that we got with the puddles, right? But there was like 3 different sections. There was like 5 guys in one, 5 guys in another,
That's
5 guys
what I'm
in another.
thinking.
That's why I think
Yeah.
That's why like that's not that unreasonable.
Right. Well, I have 2 specific reasons for thinking it's not going to be a ton. One,
let's go.
Think of how Spider-Man attacks people in PS4, right? It's not all punches. There's a lot of kicks. There's a lot of web attacks. There's a lot of yanks.
But the Venom punch though from Miles,
right?
I think there's
Are you specifying punch with like fist or just like attack?
Jack, if you hit someone with a foot, how is that a punch?
Okay, that's fair. But like you would imagine like he's going to still use a punch on that person.
Right. Listen, I'm going frame by frame.
No, exactly. I was just gonna say we're going frame by frame on that demo. We're counting punches. We're not counting punches. We're counting a single connection of a fist to a person.
Yes.
Or a thing.
Right.
Fist contact.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, here's the other thing. Miles, one of his big distinct things from Peter, he turns invisible. So I think we might get a stealth demo. And the stealth would mostly be involving like yanking, doing the spider web, grabbing stuff like that. Maybe some chokeholds, I don't know. But like I think there's going to be less things punching and more showing the fact that he can turn invisible or agility or stuff like that. I think it's not going to be excessive.
I was looking at it, the spirit of the question more as like attack, but I guess if it's very specific in punch, I can see that being lower, but sure. I see.
Damn it, that was a good call because they are going to do a stealth section. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it.
You know, they probably...
That's some Christian sneakiness of that question.
Damn it, man. Shit. I didn't even...
He turns invisible.
No,
right?
I know.
Yeah, but like the main mode of attack
punch,
though with Spider-Man is punch. Like you have to think like punch, kick, what? And like
I hope he just does like a nice like rapid punch jack that most of people we get it. I don't know.
I imagine like a punch will be landed on at least like 1 hit for every foe, I would say.
Okay.
At least 1 punch per interaction with a...
Yeah, I would say so. Okay. Unless there's like any 1 hit like web takedowns, then of course you can't really do that.
Sure. All right. Are we good to move on to the next question?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Damn it, that was a good call with the stuff.
Speaking of Sackboy, will Sackboy frown? Kevin.
Yeah. But then, like, is Sackboy going to be there?
The representative of our wager war tonight. He's in the emblem for the official JoyClicks Conference Champion Wager War. Will he frown?
Yeah. That's a lowercase but I think he's gonna frown.
Okay.
A lot of open space to work with there on that one, so.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm gonna say yes as well because, listen, I downloaded Little Big Planet 3 recently because I never checked it out because it wasn't Media Molecule and I was like, I don't need this. But I missed that game so much, and I completely forgot on the D-pad different expressions for the face. And in those ads, he was always about like making different faces and expressions based on the narrator. So I think we're gonna get a frown mixed in there somewhere.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
Savage.
No
now
bad vibes?
I have a question. Is Sack? Yeah, no bad vibes. Can't be frowning at the pressure feel of this.
Mm-hmm.
Now is the Sackboy Adventure game, is that a launch release game? Do we know?
They haven't really specified. Honestly, I
right.
think it might be just to have that knack void filled, you know?
Yeah.
No, guys, the secret game is Knack 3. Everyone knows this. Come on.
Sure.
Guys.
My answer of no is like sort of safe in a way, because like if that's not a launch release game, it's very possible they just don't talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I'm on low key on the wave of like I don't think we see it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we see it.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But like Sackboy probably will show up in some form, in like a sizzle, you know.
He'll definitely show up. Like I'm thinking like Sackboy gets onto the level of like state of play here on out. Maybe a dedicated state of play. Why not? You know, maybe a blog post about some features and stuff like that. But I think that's where we put that. I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
because like honestly, I do see a world where this is a launch game because it's a couch co-op game.
I see it both ways, honestly. Yeah.
So I think it's more likely they showcase this than Astro. I think because Astro is probably like a 2-hour experience at most if it's a pack-in. So yeah, I think so. But Jack, so you saying no? You think that if he does show up in a sizzle reel or something, he just no time to be sad?
And like if he shows up, it's for a hot like 2-3 seconds, right?
Yeah.
It's gotta be happy, you know.
Mm-hmm. Fair point.
The sad Sackboy was the old him, you know. That was little Big Planet eras, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I see that.
All right, next wager coming in hot. This one is me, I think. Bam. Will we see? Let me shrink this. Will we see a new colorway to the PS5 or its accessories? So, I think defining this one, dual sense counts. Both SKUs of the PS5 count. I think everything we've seen so far is like white or black in terms of like the camera and the charging dock and stuff like that. So if you want to take those into account, I think those qualify in this wording. But I am going to say yes. I think there's probably going to be a limited edition controller if there's not a Miles PS5 like we all want there to be. I think we could see a world where it's a Miles DualSense or something like that, because they love doing special edition controllers for big releases if they don't do a console as well. So considering that it's logistically kind of impossible for them to maybe do another SKU of the PS5, I think controller is reasonable. Plus they really want to sell those things, right? Like that was such a huge thing this generation, right? They wanted to sell so many controllers. You know, I'm glad I have two. And if the battery life on the DualSense is anything like the battery on the DualShock 4, I might invest in another one. So I just have a constantly charged one. So yes, I think there will be new ones.
Okay.
I am going to say no. I'm not familiar with the different like SKUs or like colors, I guess. In a launch window, because I feel like when you're releasing a console, you just have X amount of units and you just send them out there, right? And we're also in the parameters of the 40-minute show.
Sure.
So like in a press release, like an hour after, be like, oh, also you can get it in this color. Like that doesn't count. So I'm gonna say no here.
Okay.
I think they're just gonna focus on the generic look for the PlayStation and just hammer in like this is what the PlayStation looks like. PlayStation 5, it's white. Like we're doing a whole new generation here, and that goes even with the coloring of our console. So I say no.
Okay.
My only rebuttal as to what you said about like them only having 40 minutes. Do you remember when they revealed the Death Stranding PS5 and how quick that was? That was literally like 10
Oh,
seconds.
I don't mean they're under like a time crunch. I was just saying like within the 40-minute presentation we're getting, like that's the parameter of the whole 15 questions that we have here, I don't think we get that. I don't think it has anything to do with time.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm gonna split hairs, gentlemen.
Okay.
I'm gonna start splitting hairs here. If you recall, to 2013,
take us back.
The Xbox One had a day one edition that had certain iconography on the controller.
That shit doesn't count.
Does that count as another colorway?
It wasn't a new color though. It was just the added text on it, right?
Well,
okay.
I think if you add text to the default controller, that makes a new color be present.
No, dude. That's not.
I think the order will decide the fate of this one.
Because
Chad, you got to be with me on that one. That's some bullshit.
Because I could kind of see like a day one edition.
Yeah, because listen, if it
I don't. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think it depends on if it says a day one on it and just a gray font. I think that's a little more questionable. But if it's like a DualSense with like the colored PlayStation logo slapped on it somewhere, I would count that. You know, because I
think that is so specific.
Because it's completely unique from the base PS5 stuff.
Yeah, but like a different button color, right? Like that's not a new. Like that's crazy. Like if it was like a black controller, right, and it said day one edition, then I would agree with you. Okay. Like to be like, oh, there's the PlayStation. I think that's. Personally, I think that's wild. I think that's absolutely wild. I think it has to be a major like change the entire look of what we're going.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I was just asking just to ask. I don't think that there will be another colorway. I think that I think they want to push the white PS5, and I'm sure they hear, hey, where's the black one? Where's the Sacred Symbols colors? You know what I'm saying? Which I missed. I miss the Sacred Symbols colors more than like a black console. If I'm gonna keep it real, like I think that is.
What, you didn't adjust to that with your Vita?
You see, the Vita was just like overwhelmingly just so good that it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You know, so I mean, like it's just when you're holding quality, it's hard to nitpick. You know, but like I think in this case, with the I would love like a day one controller that was just like, hey, like here's the like, if you're like a hardcore fan and you really care about the logos, which I think maybe all three of us do. I don't know. Here is the special day one edition that has our history, our like historical colors here.
Yeah, like
you want that controller with the button. Like that would be fire. You know what I'm saying?
Background on the shelf, Crash Bandicoot is holding up that gray PS1 controller with the colors on it. We saw them do that for an anniversary. The PS1 just had an anniversary, so if they do a celebratory, like, here's a DualSense that goes back to day one, it looks like the... Honestly, if it's like a slightly off different color, but like we're getting it's going for that celebration, I think that would count too.
Yeah. I would definitely count that. Yeah. But I don't think I agree with Kevin. I don't think we see that.
Sure.
Yeah, no, like I still don't think so. Like I think we just get, hey, here's the PS5. Have fun. You know,
any major
expect plenty of other colorways to come in the future. You know,
yeah, any major new like color addition, I think is a year 2 thing.
Yeah, I think, Kevin, I think you were alluding to this too with your the way you phrased it, but there's a certain pressure, I guess, to maintain what someone thinks of when they think of PS5. You know, so like keeping that uniform idea of what this box is, what it's supposed to be, and it's like if you mess with that before it's even out, I can see that being something too,
right?
Despite thinking that they're going to show something. Next one.
And honestly, I'm sold on the white too. I'm sold.
Yeah,
First I was kind of on it, but overall, I like now, like I've definitely grown to appreciate it. Definitely.
All right, this is a big one. What will be the price of the more expensive PS5? The closest bet gets it.
Okay. This is me, I believe, right?
In US dollars. Okay.
Yeah. The more expensive.
Yes. Like assuming there is going to be a more expensive one. If there's not, I think this question still counts. Like
exactly. I think $499, which would be $500. But I'm going to say $499 just because that's how they position it. I can't 600, dude. I just they can't do that again.
They can't.
And
they can't.
And like
I can't. Please don't.
They just can't do it. And I don't know about like a 449 console, like, or excuse me, a 550, I guess. That's just weird to me. Or even like the in betweens, like the $50 SKUs. Yeah. So I think 500/499 is my answer. I think it's gonna price match the Series X.
Yeah. 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 I'm on the same wave. I think 499 is the absolute most expensive that a PS5 could cost this fall. And I'm praying that's true, guys, because fuck, if they say $599 on that stage, like, I'm gonna leave the call. Like, oh my god, dude, fuck, that's gonna be so bad.
The thing is, though, I could see it.
I could too, man. That's the problem. I could really see it.
I don't think it happens though.
$499. $499.
Here's the thing. I was thinking a lot about this one today. I think, first up, I don't think we can rule out that they might just drop $599. I don't think that's something we can completely say they're not going to do.
Oh, that's entirely possible.
Yeah. So I'm going to say $549 because, one, if it's 600, then I win. But two, because I think we could see a world where because they're so similar and they like, I think it's about messaging with the marketing and trying to like convince people they're not spending a lot of money. I think both companies are probably taking losses on these consoles, right? I think that's safe to say based on the reports and what people calculated like 6 months ago. I think PlayStation, in an effort to, again, we think they want to sell more of the digital ones. I think if they do make it $100 difference, they might try to do $549 for the disc one. If you really want that physical media, that's the one you go for. If you're hardcore and you want that, go for that. But if you want digital only and you want to save some money, $449, because that's still not as much of a loss as it would be at $499 or sorry $399 or something like that. Like, I think it's them playing games, and I think if you do something in the middle, it would make it easier to swallow for a lot of different people. So officially, I'm gonna say $549.
Yeah, and Omar in the chat is saying that the Wii was $250 when it launched, $249.99. So like that is a precedent for a console launching like in the middle.
Yeah.
Right there. So that's interesting, Christian.
Yeah, I think the Vita also was a weird.
Wasn't the Vita like $370 something or something weird?
No,
like that?
sir. Don't you ever disrespect the Vita again? It was $249.99, sir. All right.
You're saying I'm disrespecting the Vita. The Vita's disrespecting me with that price, man. Come on.
Well, the Vita launched at the same price as the Wii.
No,
damn.
What was disrespectful was the
I'll tell you what's worth that much money.
That was disrespectful. All right, that was. Vita memory cards were the biggest disrespect for sure.
But like, honestly, guys, do you think there's a world where we do Gamescast on Thursday and then we're just like bummed out that they're gonna try to get $600 out of us for one?
That's entirely possible. I'm
gonna bring a type of liquor to that, if we're being honest. Like, that's. Oh my god, dude!
Fuck. Bonus question. If this isn't for a wager or anything, but if it was 600, would that change either of your perspectives on hopping in this fall?
No.
I mean, it would. I don't think I'm getting one this fall. Like, unless things line up. Mm-hmm. So no, that would actually make me more adverse to getting one.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page. I'm kind of in the middle right now on what I'm gonna do, but if it's 600, I just laugh my way to bed and be like, guess I'm playing my Switch this fall. Like,
next year.
600. Like, we saw 600 after they did it very well with the PS2. They just did very well with the PS4. So I'm not gonna give them the benefit of the doubt right now.
I think the $400 price point will be for one of these consoles.
Mm-hmm.
Probably less expensive one.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a really good number that consoles have launched at previously, like what you said, the PS4. So I think they're gonna have the $400 mark for the smaller SKU, or for the discless SKU, and then I'm thinking 500 for the more expensive. We shall see though.
Yeah.
I think there's totally a world where we see 600 tomorrow.
Yeah, like I think the safest route to maneuver this as a non-businessman, you know what I'm saying? $399, $499. Let's just rock with it. You know what I'm saying? And I think like the one that you're gonna have to focus on, I think more of in terms to like really propose that value would be the digital edition, because I think the average consumer is gonna walk in stores and be okay, cool. Like there's the Series X and the PS5 standard, which is like the even playing field, low key. And then the lower tiered ones are the ones that have the differing in price. So I think like they would use that marketing for the digital edition to really pop it up as like, hey, this is a PS5, just no physical media, and that's why it's $100 more. Is what like I think they would have to do, but I think it'd be $399 and $499.
Sure. Yeah. All right, we ready for the next question?
Sure. Omar's saying that you're gonna be a huge Halo fan this holiday season.
Omar, don't count it out.
Dude, we should all do a legendary playthrough of the Halo.
Honestly,
series.
That'd be kind of fun.
Halo's one of my favorite series of all time, so gotta do it.
Yeah, man. We have kicked around the idea of a specific show to do those sorts of things, so maybe Halo gets one of the seasons. We'll see. Okay. Sorry, I did not paste this one. That's why it didn't change. How many seconds will Kojima be shown?
Why are you like this, Christian? Like, I don't, because now like this question, like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? What does the question say?
How many seconds will Kojima? Are we talking like the physical person? Are we talking about one of his games? Are we talking about his actual last name? Are we talking about anything that's affiliated with him? Is it an IP that we don't know that he's a part of? Then he ends up.
Spirit of this question.
How many seconds will Kojima be shown?
The man.
How many seconds will Kojima be shown? I think there's a lot of ways to interpret this one, and again, it goes the order.
No, we need a ruling now. Convene now. Get the members of the High Council in here now.
Get them on the hotline. How many seconds? I mean, look, I think Kojima is a bit of a wild card because that man just, I guess, doesn't sleep, right? Because he made Death Stranding in like the fastest development time I've ever seen.
2 years, right? Like 3, 2.5.
It was like really fast, like, but
will Kojima be real or CG?
I think this is Jack first or Kevin? I forget.
No, I went first last.
Okay, so Kevin, this is you. You first.
Damn. Okay, let's just talk this out, guys. So, if we're gonna see Kojima here, it's obviously one of three things: new IP, Silent Hills, or Death Stranding 2, right? I mean, or Metal Gear Remake, technically, but like, who knows? How many seconds will Kojima be shown? I don't think he's here.
Okay.
I think
you're gonna say 0.
Yeah, I think with the hardcore, we have another God of War situation on our hands here, where we can put Kojima literally wherever, and like it's gonna make waves.
Right.
But with the talk of Silent Hills, if he's a part of that, then I'm screwed. If he's not a part of that, then we're good. But yeah, I'll say no.
Sure.
I'll say 0 seconds.
Now, again, before we continue and before Kevin, because none of these are locked in yet, but should this be another one where it's closest instead of not overshooting? Because the thing is, like, I feel like if it's specifics with time, it's probably should be closest instead of like not going over, right?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Closest. So like, yeah. If you say 60 seconds and it's 61 seconds, then you get it. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. I'm gonna say 25 seconds. I think he's gonna have a short little video. I think he's gonna introduce a new project he's working on. And again, in my head, PlayStation wants to sell the future and the promise of their console, and what better way to do that than with Hideo Kojima?
I'm honestly with Kevin. I was thinking 0 as well.
Okay.
You gotta imagine, of course, Kojima is on like the pedestals of one of the greatest game developers of all time. Like, he's legendary. But like, how often do you see game devs be like, "Hey, that was my new game," in like a conference like that? You know, like, I feel like it doesn't happen that much, and if it did, it would be like walking out onto a stage like he did with Jeff Keighley. But like, I don't see that happening. I don't think. I honestly don't even know if a Kojima product will show up here. But if it does, I don't think he's. My answer is still 0.
Now, Jack, do you remember E3 2016 where they gave him like a 2-minute introduction where he spent half that walking down an LED floor to the tune of Mad Max Fury Road?
Yeah, we got 40 minutes though, Christian. We got 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But here's another thing too. Listen, you gotta imagine, like, Kojima's a very unique individual. I think that's something that we can all understand and like really see that, right?
Yeah.
And I gotta imagine that like he's almost getting more inspired from stay at home and lockdowns than he's not, right? So I think that he's gonna plan something to do like something really meta with Keighley at Game Awards in a few months' time. Like, I think that's where we see him next. Like, he's gonna do something so meta and so just like, wow, he's fucking on my phone right now while I'm watching the show.
He built a hologram. Like, he built the Chiral
Network. He's like, hey guys, download the Chiral Network app, for Game Awards. And like, we all have to press it at the same time or some crazy, like, I think that's more likely.
Kojima announces his new killer app, literally, the silver bullet for Facebook, the Chiral Network.
Oh, fuck yeah.
See, we're going to get to wild predictions. That would qualify as a wild prediction. That would be up there. Okay, so 0 from both of you, 25 seconds for me. Okay, next up. Copy this, bring it over here. Okay. Again, this one, there's some flexibility here. Hold on, go away. No, copy the wrong one. My bad, guys. Who will announce the price of the PlayStation 5? Again, we got a lot of options, a lot of suits. Who's the one? Who gets the honor? Or maybe the death sentence? Who's the one that has to announce how much this thing is?
You're first, right, Christian?
Yes, I am. I'm gonna say. See, I have two realities in my head. I have the reality where it's a very affordable, very appealing price, and they give that honor to Herman Hulst because he gets to walk out here and be like, "I'm the new face. I'm the new Layden. Get used to me. You see me in video games.
Haven't had mac and cheese."
Yeah. I think there's a world where he gets to be this celebrated face. They do the screen grab of Herman Hulst smiling with like $3.99, whatever they want to do. I think there's a world where that happens, and then I think there's a world where it's $500 or more, and Jim Ryan's like, "Here it is. We like gamers," and then it's like, "All right, guy, great." I think the second reality is more likely, so I'm gonna say it's Jim Ryan.
So Omar popped this up, and I was thinking this as well. Stop me here if I'm a little too crazy. Okay. I say no one.
That's what I think it.
I think it just I think it's just on the screen.
It's on the screen.
So
no one was holding the PS5. We haven't actually seen anyone officially hold a PS5 yet. And that's my kind of shot of like, of like people holding like, "Oh, here's a PS4."
Right. They did that at the Switch presentation. They did a lot of that. They were like, here it is. This is what it looks like. There's the controllers. Like, I think because we haven't seen it yet, there's a case where maybe he's not holding the PS5, but he picks up a DualSense and he's like, "Now get immersed in God of War," or something like that. I don't know.
Regardless, though, I don't see anyone saying the price.
Okay.
So I'm going to say no one.
Nobody. All right.
Yeah, not announcing it. I think maybe after they show a really cool, highly edited video that will somehow reveal the price. Maybe it's in the inscription of the PS5 this whole time. We just never saw it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
It's like how didn't the Vita have like all those tiny little like sacred symbols on it?
It does.
The PS5 just has 600, 600, 600, 600.
So I hope not. So the DualSense though. The DualSense texture has the sacred symbols.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, no. I think maybe like in a recap, like, yep, and we're giving you next gen for fingers crossed, $399, $499. Fingers crossed.
Right.
But yeah, no. I think it's just gonna be revealed in a trailer type thing. Yeah.
Now, refresh my memory, guys, if you remember this. At the initial reveal event, we had a lot of talking heads. Was there somebody who just like specifically introduced like the video that Kevin you used for the Road to PS5 video? Like, was there someone that said something and then it went into that video?
I can pull it up right now. Actually, I have it downloaded.
Because
from my recollection, I don't.
Yeah, from my I don't think so.
Because
it was like a seamless transition from like it wasn't Horizon, but or it could have been. No, it was Horizon in the end. It was like some game, and then transitioned into the reveal itself.
Actually, I don't have it down.
Could be wrong. I don't. But that's what I remember.
It's besides the point. I was just curious, but
yeah.
All right, next one.
I like this question.
Thank you. The one we just did, or the one we're about to do?
The one we just had, because like it could be anyone, and it could also be no one.
Kevin, are you still checking for that?
I am.
Okay. No rush. Let me know what you think, or what you find out. But for this next one, there's a lot of possibilities here in my head. Will a cigar be smoked?
Who's for Jack's first, right?
I believe it's me. Quick answer is no.
Okay. Well, you don't think Shuhei's gonna celebrate?
That. So I get where you're going with this question, Christian.
Okay.
Is
Enlighten me.
Sully
Where
gonna pop up?
am I going with it?
Sully is one road.
Mhm.
Of course, Snake or some iteration of Snake is another road. At least that's where I think you're going. I don't. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4 remake, says Omar in the chat. That'd be awesome. MGS4 is like probably my second favorite in the series. I say no. I don't think we see that. Also, tobacco, not cool. Don't show that.
I also have an answer as well. So it was a bunch of developers in a Zoom call-esque type thing.
Okay.
Are saying that says, and this is PlayStation, and then it cut to black, and then it cut to the orbs and stuff like that, and all that.
Okay. Fun fact: the viewers can't see this right now. I'm writing Jack Christian Kevin for every single bet. I wrote Jack Christian Jim Ryan on this one right now.
Jim Ryan, what do you think?
Will a cigar be smoked? Jim Ryan. So Kevin, I think you're next. Do you think a cigar will be smoked? Jack ran through some very realistic possibilities. Obviously, he brings up a fair point of what's that orange ad company? It's like the modern day Dare.
Oh, Dare.
Yeah.
Oh, the ad
Is it still Dare?
I forgot what that's called. No, it's called something else. But like, I know what you're talking about with like the pixel looking text and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very loud
That's
advertisements
like
in front of YouTube videos.
Yeah. If there is going to be a cigar smoked, I think the most likely is solely Uncharted 5 San Diego team, right?
Yeah.
I don't think a Metal Gear remake is being developed right now. At least I don't think. I don't know. I don't know a lot of things.
Also, completely fair. Solid Snake, at least. Cigarettes, mostly. So,
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
that would not count.
Yeah, so
Now,
Sully
when
definitely
you
be
say
smoking cigars, definitely.
Mhm. Are we doing another punch situation where it's like nitty gritty smoking, as in, does this character need to take a pull of this cigar,
I think it counts if
or
it's in their
could
mouth.
it be lit? That's okay. That's
You know,
that's
we
good.
don't have
What
to
if
do
they're
like,
holding
we don't
it?
have to
What if
like
they're only
pause for like
holding
a like we don't have to get a full one of
No.
those. Like
What if it's lit and they're holding it?
That I don't know. It says, "Will a cigar be smoked?" So that's a pass.
Like, you know how like you know when
Shit, I don't know.
you know when you inhale and it like sparks up a little bit. I think that is the telltale sign.
Sure. I think Sully. We've seen Sully have it rest in his mouth a lot. You know, I think that is still smoking.
Yes,
so the tense of that would be smoked. He smoked that cigar, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I think it's a matter of going to the council, like, or the order. Sorry.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Because it's a lot of question of like, okay, what was he doing? Was he just like constantly going back and forth? Was he doing it off screen? Does that count? Like, I think that would be a game day choice. So Kevin, you're saying no, or did you give an answer yet?
I don't know. I'm trying to.
A lot of my respect for you is maybe riding on your faith of this question.
Dude, I kind of want to say yeah, but I don't know why I want to say yeah. Jack, help me. Jack, why? Why? Jack, help me.
It's because we're going to see the 80s Uncharted with Sully. That's his introduction.
That'd be dope.
Just light up a cigarette in a dark room.
I mean,
take a big puff of it, lean in, like, all right, kid.
So
yeah, exactly. That's the picture.
Look,
yeah.
If Uncharted's really going down, I really see like, okay, Jim Ryan's going, hey, we have expanded our first party studios, our worldwide studios, with a new team at Sony San Diego. Of course, you know them for MLB. They're gonna do something a little bit different, and we go into Uncharted, right? Like, I think that's a great way to announce that team. I think, shit. Fuck. I want to say,
I know what you
I
want to say.
don't know
Kevin.
why.
I don't know why. Okay,
fine.
Because you believe, will it into existence. We're getting the Sony San Diego Uncharted, and it's gonna be.
I know we're gonna get it. Is it gonna be here? I'm not sure.
It's gonna be
but I do think that the one that no, I don't think that.
Kevin, do you remember last week on Gamescast when I told you that there were very few games that would get me to, regardless of the price of the PS5, get in as soon as I can?
I know it would definitely be Uncharted 80s. So
Uncharted, honestly, any Uncharted continuing 4, I think, would be up there if it's a full-blown effort, if it's either Uncharted 5 or a new full-blown-out spin-off.
What if it's another Chloe and Nadine?
It depends on how they frame it. If it's like another, like, if they specifically go the route of it's a Lost Legacy style thing, it's like, oh, I'll get to it. But if it's like Uncharted 5 starring Chloe Frazier, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I pick this thing up.
You know what we're going to get with the next Uncharted? I don't think it'll be the 80s Sully. I think it will be Nadine and Chloe, also mixed in with Sully and Sam. Like, it'll switch off between them, and then eventually.
Cast. I like that.
See, because that screams full-blown Uncharted to me.
That a lot.
You know?
Yeah, I think that would happen. I think
that.
that would be a really interesting thing, because it's like new to Uncharted. Like, you're swapping between different characters in different places at the same time.
Yep.
Also, I feel like you could also start to introduce Nate's daughter and see where that goes.
Mm-hmm. So let's just try it. Let's just dip our toes in. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Yeah.
So, Kevin, what do you think?
My answer's still no.
Cigar gonna be smoked?
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's pretty... I mean, there's a lot of... Perhaps Aloy from a cigar. I don't know. Whatever. We'll see. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she's like, what is this old world?
Yeah, because, Jack, I think...
Technology.
Yeah, I think your point about tobacco, fair, but I think cigars get a pass. I think, honestly, we see cigars more in media than cigarettes at this point, because cigarettes got wiped out.
That's true.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point, because cigars are seen more as, like, in celebratory fashions.
Yeah.
I still say no.
Okay.
Bonus points. I want to win if we see a hookah. I'm just going to call it. Can I call that?
You want to win?
No.
Okay, fine. It's okay.
That's not a wild prediction.
Hookahs litter every single Call of Duty game. Like, walk around a Modern Warfare Call of Duty game, and like,
that is very true. Though.
You're stumbling on hookahs.
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm like, why? Like, oh my god. Like, yeah. Good times. All right, Christian, what are you thinking?
Oh yes, of course. Sully's gonna be here. He's gonna be headlining Uncharted 1985, and it's gonna be Miami and Cuba.
That'd be awesome, dude.
Dude, that's listen. Christian still has the best pitch for any Uncharted game I've heard in years.
Yeah. Honestly, though, Jack, I really like that pitch for an Uncharted 5. If we do like a full ensemble.
Yeah. Well, they set that up. Mm-hmm. Sorry, go for it.
I was gonna say that would earn the title Uncharted 5. Like that would be.
I think it would just be called Uncharted.
I think they would drop the numbering because why?
That's fair too. Yeah.
I think they just drop it.
Because they set it up at the end of 4 with Sully and Sam, right? So they have that set up, and Nadine and Chloe, of course, after the end of 4 as well. So you already have both of those pairings. So I think that'd be cool.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I almost fucked that up. Never mind. I'm gonna be quiet. Keep it moving. Let's go.
Okay.
Keep it going. Keep it going. I almost made a big slip, but let's keep it.
Okay. So that one was Jack.
Do you know
first?
where Jack? Wait.
Yeah.
Have you played Lost Legacy, Jack?
Yeah.
You know where I was going with that, kind of.
No, you're gonna have to tell me after.
Okay.
Next up, I think so. Kevin, this one's you. Will Chocobo Kwe?
Dude, I'm gonna start crying if it does, y'all. I'm gonna really have a breakdown.
Now Kwe, of course, is the written way to do the sound effect of the Kwe, or whatever it does.
The
sound now, Chocobo makes.
I do need to ask a question to the panel.
Sure.
Those that have played multiple Final Fantasies, because of course I've only played 7, remake and original. Are Chocobos one of the things that are the interwoven things that connect all of the Final Fantasies?
Mm-hmm. Chocobos are in at least the Final Fantasies I played. They're in them. They're in 7. They're in 6. They're in 15. They're in spin-offs. The Chocobos are one of the mascots.
Gotcha.
Of Final Fantasy, as are Moogles. Remember there was that kid dressed up as a Moogle?
I do.
Moogles and Chocobo and Cactuar, little cactus dudes. Those are the big 3 things that are you can put those into any Final Fantasy and it fits.
Okay, gotcha.
Now that doesn't mean they all have them, to my knowledge, but it would be plausible for a Final Fantasy title to have a Chocobo in it.
What a great name. Chocobo.
Yeah, giant chicken.
I like it.
Wait, is that what that doesn't translate to that?
It is. I don't think that translates, no, but it is a giant chicken.
Dude, that'd be crazy if it means giant chicken. I'll be like, yo. I mean, have they ever led with a review of Final Fantasy with Chocobo? Has that been I know that's kind of a really just detailed question that probably no one knows what's up there.
I remember there was a trailer for 15 a couple E3s back where there was a remix of a song, and one of the things to make the beat drop was the Chocobo went "Wah!" and then it was so
I'm gonna say no, but I really think that we'll see a Final Fantasy something here. I think. Yeah. I think there's too much smoke.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think I'm almost expecting Final Fantasy to show up here in some form. I don't think that's a 7 remake part 2 thing.
Yeah.
As
wild
as that would be.
I would love a remake 2 thing. Wait,
Kevin, okay.
Just give me. Go ahead.
What if? Because think about it. 2015, they revealed Final Fantasy VII Remake at the E3 where Dreams happened, and it's I can't wait to own a PS4 if I don't already own one. That game did not really exist when that trailer was shown. That was again selling the console, just selling the future of a console. Do you think it's more enticing for people to have just a CG trailer? Because whatever they show from Final Fantasy, if they do show something, I don't think it's going to be gameplay. Is it more enticing, do you think, to say show this new CG trailer for Final Fantasy 16, play it first on PS5, or Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2, play it first on PS5? Because regardless, I think they're both a ways out, and I think both are going to be appealing to some people, but I feel like 7 Remake is a bigger thing. I feel like 7 Remake Part 2 would get more attention.
7 Remake Part 2 would get more attention, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely. I do think that Final Fantasy 16 will naturally get more attention than maybe 15 because of like the likes of me in the world.
Sure.
That the remake was their first Final Fantasy. You know, maybe like I don't know how big of an actual crowd is with me on that. I really don't know, but I would like to think that like I'm probably not alone.
No, you're not.
You know,
Definitely not.
You know, like I I don't think I'm alone in that. So maybe so like, but remake 2, like I think, and to the point of like, I'll be happy with anything remake 2, but like I think even like a CG trailer with them on the Shinra ship, dressed up as the crew. You know what I'm saying? Like even that, like happening right after, or like, you know, them maybe getting to, it's called Calm, right? That city that they went to after the end of remake.
Yeah.
Part of original fantasy. Wherever they go in that town, maybe like maybe that, but
yeah, because Chocobos could be soon after. But I'm gonna say no. I think 16 is probably more likely, and I don't know if they would lead with a Chocobo. If they want to make it clear that it's Final Fantasy and show one in the background, sure, but I don't think it's gonna make a sound. But Jack, what about you?
My answer is no. I think if it does happen, it's like at the stinger at the end of the trailer, right? Sure. It's like a little joke. But yeah, no, I don't see it.
All right. So, final question before we get into, or final wager, excuse me, before we get into the end game here. Swap that out. Paste that bad boy. Okay. What will be the price differential between the PS5 digital and the PS5? So, this I feel like is pretty easy. I think this could be a case of, or not easy, but I mean like in terms of the guidelines, it's like I don't think it's going to be a $70 difference or something like that, you know? So
yeah.
I'm going to say, because I think I'll go first on this one. I'm going to say $100. I think there's no way it is less than that, because at that point, why bother? If it's $50 for the option of a disc drive, and I think they probably want to, in long run, sell more digitals. So I don't know why you would make the jump to having the option even more appealing. I feel like they probably just take the loss, even if it is drastic. So I'm going to say it's $100 difference between digital and standard.
I agree with you. I also think it's 100. You're right that they do want to sell more digital copies because they want to get people used to buying digital games because they don't have to pay their distributors. And if you can make and distribute the same game, which is also known as a monopoly, that's good for business. So yeah, but I agree with you. I think that's $100.
Yeah. Kevin, what about you? Where's your head at here?
It's 100, but like, walk with me, guys. Walk with me, man.
I think you're going down a path that I almost walked down, and I would love to join you.
This is, dude. Am I gonna be fucking crazy? You know what? Fuck it. I'm not doing $100. Here's what I'm doing. We're gonna get crazy.
Okay.
Right. Let's all take a walk. Right. Now, PS5 for sure. Standard edition, $500. Right. Let's compete with the main Series X. That's what we were gonna do in the first place. But let's make that even, Steven. It's all good. Right. At that point, the real competition is on the lower tier. Right. What if they do $349 for the digital PS5, and they just have in their hearts, listen, in the long run, we're gonna make more off these games digitally. Everyone that gets a digital edition has no choice but to buy out the PS Store. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we'll take this as a heavy investment. A heavy investment, but let's hope in the long run it pays off. And you know, the cost of parts are gonna get cheaper. It'll be, you know, and maybe we'll discount the main PS5 more aggressively than the digital, you know, and we just work it like that. I want to fucking do it. I want to say $150 difference.
Now,
I applaud you for your bravery.
Now,
yeah,
Kevin,
no, it's not gonna happen. But
what if?
Right.
Again, what if they're thinking super long term, And they...
Dude, there's no way.
No. Listen. They're thinking super long term, okay?
Okay.
Because I personally believe that by the time for the PS6, there's not going to be a disc-based PS6. I think if there is, it's going to be a significantly higher markup.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I'll go one step further than you. I think it might be just an external thing that you can buy if you want it. Maybe, it'll be that arcade.
Like the Mac. Like the MacBooks.
Yeah.
God, I hate that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I wouldn't be surprised also if you're only really able to find easily the disc-based PS5 for the first year or two, kind of like how the PS3 worked with the backwards compatibility. Like that, I think that might become the rare version.
Wait, you think which one's gonna be more rare? The digital or the base? Yeah, because I didn't expect to really see this, but those IGN polls have been going up, and I think GameSpot did one too.
Yeah,
I think Push Square did one as well. At least in our circles, people are aiming for the standard PS5.
Yeah, which I think they're gonna backpedal when they see that sticker.
Yeah, which I'm like, oh, I figured the digital would get something. I mean, but I'm more eyeballing the digital one, to be honest with you guys. You know,
so I personally am more of I'm gonna go for the disc because I got all these Blu-rays back here.
Sure,
I
just started collecting them. You know,
totally
I'm still gonna build a collection in time for them to be utterly useless in 10 years.
Yeah.
So
now, I prefaced with that. Do you think there's any world where they just match them 1-for-1 and be like, you know what, we're gonna make it up long term. We got the games. It's gonna be an easy choice. I would be shocked if Xbox sells anything what they're projecting if they put a PS5 digital for $300 next to an Xbox Series S.
That would break everything, bro. We would lose it if they did $299 PS5 digital. It's not gonna happen.
But should I try to manifest it right now?
Oh, are you gonna change your fucking bet?
For the sake of having 3 different prices, I think I might.
Okay.
Oh man, I mean, listen.
Because that's what I want it to be. I want to buy a $300 PS5. Cut out half that SSD if you want to on the second wave of them to make up for it. I don't care, but
Wait, are you saying that there's gonna be a third SKU?
No, well, technically, I guess, but not I think it's gonna be the same. Technically, if you change anything, it's a different SKU.
Wait, so do you mean 3 prices then? Is that what you're saying? Because this was gonna be one of my.
Oh no! Sorry. What I'm saying is the initial because I had a conversation with Kevin about this of is it possible for them to take the hard drives out if they're already built, which I think logistically they could if it's just an easy swap, and then they could save those they're not bad hard drives, just save those for the next wave of PS5 disc-based ones to make.
So you're still saying 2 consoles at this point?
Yes,
is what you're saying. Okay, sorry for being confused.
I'm just trying to give reasons on why I think they could maybe get it down to that price.
Okay.
Because if storage is supposed to be so modular and upgradable with these things, I don't know why they could just pop them out and save those for the next batch. I don't know. But I'm gonna say 200. I'd love to, because here's the other thing: if it is a $600 console for the main one, they sure as hell should do a $200 difference to try and get any. Because the thing is, I feel like if you sold the main one at $600, you're not really taking a loss. So make up for that with the one you want to sell more of, you know?
That's fair.
So I'm going to say 200.
All right.
So we can run through those again just for final answers after the next stage. But the next stage, final stage, is wild predictions. Now, the way these are defined in the contract for tonight's event, elaborate, multi-part, pie in the sky, highly unlikely wagers. If someone's wild prediction comes true, this is subject to change. If we don't feel this is good enough, they automatically win.
Okay.
Do we think?
How many do we get?
What do you mean?
How many bets or how many different things can?
So we have one. We have one wild wager. Okay, we each get one wild wager. They're multi-parts. But what I'm saying is, first off, the way I didn't break down points for these bets, but I assumed they'd all just be worth 1 point, like whoever gets it.
This is like essentially catching the golden snitch.
Sure. I think that like you don't get penalized for having a wild wager,
Yeah.
but there's something you can do, right? Now, do we think it should be a point thing? Do we think it should be plus 5 points? So it's like you technically would automatically win, but there's still a chance you don't. Like, do you think it should be that, or do you think it should be if it comes true, you win?
Well, I guess we would have to see like how crazy a bet would be at that point.
Sure.
For it to be that like extent, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay. Well,
What do you think of?
I think it's all of our wild predictions.
wild
They're
wagers.
multi-part. Yeah, well, wild wagers, multi-part. I think each part should be 1 point. And if you want to be ballsy and put a lot of parts in your thing, then you're gonna reap the rewards if they're all right. You know what I'm saying? Or I think if you're gonna only have like a 3-part thing, then the trade-off is that like the maximum points you could ever accumulate is 3 points. You know,
so you're
so
saying
like the wilder the prediction, the more potential points one can get. So I think each part per point, and maybe we dictate what is a part. That's confirmed by the court if it's okay.
So what you'd be saying is like if my wild wager was just Sly Cooper's back, and I got that right, that's 1 point. But if I say Sly Cooper's back and it's launch window, that's 2 points.
Yeah.
Okay, and we want to cap it out at being 3 parts.
I don't think there should be a cap if someone wants to go off on the beat, but I think all the parts do have to be laid out right now and has to be confirmed with the panel. Okay, cool. These are the parts that you said.
Okay,
that's a good idea.
The only I think we should have a minimum. I think it should be at least X number of parts.
Okay.
So do we want to? Because the thing is, if it's just if I just said Sly Cooper is a thing, I don't think that should be a make or break, you know, for a bonus point. I think it should be a little more specific than just like this old series comes back. Like I think it should be a little more detailed than just like SOCOM reboot. Like I think it should be something a little more like who's making it, or like when is it coming? What is there a drastic change to it? Like I think you need to be pretty specific with it, not just like this thing is gonna happen, you know. So I think Kevin goes first.
Oh man, I did not want to go first. God,
am I wrong on that? I just went.
I mean, we can change it up here.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, I say it's whatever. Whoever's ready, because I don't know how.
You probably thought about this a lot more than us, Christian.
Sure, I can go first.
More than I did, at least.
I can go first. Okay. Wild wager. Okay. I actually didn't think about this in full. I had a couple things in mind, but I think this is the one I'll go with.
I have 2 things, really.
So, Hideo Kojima.
This is where I was thinking about. Okay.
Will be in the presentation, happy as ever. And this isn't part of the wager yet. The wager I will define when it begins and ends.
25 seconds.
Kojima. Okay. Metal Gear Solid. Sorry, excuse me. Metal Gear remake. Now let me break this down. There's going to be a remake of the story of the original 2 Metal Gear games, which saw the beginning missions of One Solid Snake going up against Big Boss in Outer Heaven. So I think we're going to... These are like the MSX, I think they're ported to NES, those games. The top-down ones. We're getting a full-blown remake of those things. So we're getting Metal Gear remake from Kojima Productions, exclusively on PlayStation. And David Hayter is back as Snake.
Nice.
So, part 1, Metal Gear, original Metal Gear, not Metal Gear Solid, remake. And when I say remake, I'm not talking just like an HD palette over the original code. I'm talking like RE2 Resident Evil style remake. Like it's in the title. That's how important it is. Metal Gear remake from Kojima Productions. That's part 2. David Hayter's back as Snake. That's part 3. Do I want to add a part 4? Oh, exclusively on PS5 is part 4.
I was leaning towards Metal Gear in some way. I wasn't thinking the OG Metal Gear, so that's really interesting that you brought that, because I think like no one really has affinity for those games, but like I can see that being like a fresh starting point. You know, because technically that is like the start of Solid Snake's story.
Less baggage,
right? If I was thinking more along the lines of MGS1, but I really like your pull there. That's cool.
Yeah, and I don't think if we want to add a 5th, we wouldn't know this. We wouldn't know this until the end of the game. But I think I could see a world if this does happen where it leaves off at the beginning of like Snake gets a call and he's like, Shadow Moses, what's that about? And then he has to like get shipped off.
I like that one. That's a really good one.
Thank you. Because yeah, I think like in my head also when I'm saying Metal Gear, I'm taking the story of Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2. I don't think it has to be that specifically, but if this does happen, I expect it to be that. Because the thing is, I don't think you can get a full game out of the story of that original.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. That's cool. I like that a lot.
All right, thank you.
I could go if
right.
Kevin's soul.
Yeah.
And do we think that's wild enough?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That works.
All right. So this is boring. So it might, but it also at the same time is kind of wild. You guys can rule on that. There is technically a third SKU of the PlayStation 5. It is just the digital version, but it has a much smaller hard drive in it, and it is matched at $299 with the Xbox Series S. Now, is that not enough? And is it not crazy enough?
I don't know. I mean, I like it.
You're on track, I think.
I like it.
I feel like
I definitely like it.
I feel like there's like one tiny thing that's missing to make it like wild. Like,
I don't know.
Because the thing is, I think that's a reality. I think we could see a world where that happens. I don't think that's impossible to say. So, is there like a specific component to it? Like, is it a different color? Is it going to be...
No, I think like honestly, like the way I see it would be really boring. That's why I say it's boring. But like it's the only thing I was really thinking about beside the Metal Gear thing. I think it's more along the lines of how when the 360 launched, it had the Xbox arcade version where it was like it had no hard drive, right? It just they wanted you to buy the console itself. So I think it's along those lines.
Okay. So,
but I think if even if I get that, that's only like what 2 points. So I guess it doesn't really even matter.
Yeah. So can you break down the parts of the wager? Because I have third SKU of the PS5, digital version of the PS5 with less space.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay. So 2 or 3.
Did you want to say a price?
Oh yeah, sorry. I thought I said that earlier. It was matching the Series S at $299.
Okay, I think I might have missed that, but you probably did say it. Matches Series S. Okay. So Jack's wild wager. There's a third SKU of the PS5. It is just the digital version of the PS5, but with less storage. You said that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then it matches the Series S at $299. If you want to get really specific, what is the storage size?
Oh, dude, I don't know. Okay, let's say half.
So now it's
I'll say
half. So it's 825 right now.
We go over or we go under? What are we rounding down or up for the
I'll say 400 gigs then.
400 gigs?
Jack, I would say 512, Jack. Just
512.
Because based off how SSDs break up, 512 is what the Series S is as well. Like,
oh, okay,
yeah, it's like one of the weird like memory. I honestly don't know why.
Yeah,
it's like that. But like, there's no 500 gigabyte
that.
SSD. It's 512. I think it's the overall size that they can make an actual like gig of solid state. I think something like that. It's a weird reasoning for it.
Well,
but
yeah,
because
like
I would say 512.
Whenever I get like a
is that the lowest it goes? Is 512?
No, there's also 256. It's like by that divider. Like I think it's by 16.
It's 16 or it's 4 8. 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128,
Oh,
256.
then give me the 200 something one.
Okay.
256. Oh, bro,
That's a
yeah,
wild one, dude. Okay.
God,
well,
there's no way
that's
they do
that,
256.
well,
Oh,
that's how they lowered the price. That's how
I
we
mean,
get.
Yeah, sure.
oof,
Think of how
that is-
expensive
that's
those
aggressive.
SSDs are, man.
Yeah. Am I crazy for thinking that, like,
256.
the smaller storage of these boxes is not going to be a problem once developers understand how to use SSD?
Well,
'Cause
isn't
I
that the
feel
whole
like people
point?
never
Like,
talk about
it just
that.
won't. We just won't
Yeah.
have as like we won't have Omar saying that like you saying 412 gigs is 2 Call of Duties. Hopefully, with the promise of SSD, that just won't exist anymore.
Yeah, like,
I
shouldn't
think-
things be like 50 gigs max now if they like go with what the tech should be doing, like what the benefits should be?
Yeah.
I have a feeling that we'll feel it during this year one specifically. I don't know how much
Yeah, I think-
developers are putting in the time for like optimizing for the SSD. I think they just wanted to make it just hey, look better and run, and that's good enough
Sure.
for year one.
Yeah,
Maybe
cross-gen
year
stuff,
two
yeah.
will, yeah, especially cross-gen games. Yeah, like
Mhm.
I don't think they'll put that much effort into making it optimized for the SSD, but
Yeah.
I think year two it won't be an issue.
Like,
for sure.
there's a reason why Cyberpunk and Witcher 3 are coming next year, because those are games that are going to be retooled to do this,
Right?
There's a
yeah,
reason the PS5 version of Destiny that they talked about at that event earlier this year is not at launch, right? It's like
Oh.
coming.
Oh wait,
Can
it's
I-
not launch?
I don't think it was launch. Like, I think it gets above to 60 frames. I don't know. I don't really
Oh,
remember
that's
that event.
Oh, that's upsetting. I'm not gonna look.
So, can I make a not addition? Let me revise a little bit, kind of. So we've discussed how most of these questions, pretty much all of them, are within the framing of the conference itself.
Mhm.
But of course, they're not going to announce like the hard drive space in a conference because that's
Sure,
not
okay.
nice. Would you guys think it's fair, considering that, to include like a press release an hour later?
Specifically
I think-
because you're saying it's 256. Yes.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
that's what my rationale is. I think price we would see that obviously, but
Sure.
like to get in the nitty gritty, like we're cutting back on the SSD, it's going to be X amount of space. I think that would be in the press release, if that should.
Yeah. And I think your request is definitely one that makes sense. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying for this
Thank
specific wild one. Yeah,
Galahad says yes.
I appreciate that.
beautiful.
The order
is great.
Now,
moves to pass.
Who are the members of the order? Right now, I'm picturing like cloaks over their heads, and we can only see shadows. Right?
The only one who has exposed themselves to me is Galahad.
I would like to nominate
Wow.
Knack as one if I'm gonna keep it real.
Nact is not. You
Damn it,
just
he's not part of the
insulted
order?
600 years of the order, dude. By
He's not part of the
suggesting that.
order?
No, he's not.
Knack is not low hood. No, okay.
No. Kevin, let's hear your wild wager. What do you got?
All right, y'all. I'm not a safe boy like y'all are with your 3 parts. No. Forget that.
I got 4.
We need 4
Jack
parts.
has 4.
Oh, damn, never mind. Okay, 4 parts. Just
I got
kidding. All right.
one more.
All right. Here's the thing.
Okay.
PS Now is in a great position, I feel like, overall. Right? PS Now, I think you can just keep it going. You know what I'm saying? I think we're all good with that. Actually, I'm gonna add one more on the fly.
Okay.
I'm gonna add one more.
Now, before we wrap up, when we go through everything again, we can just freeball a couple things that we didn't touch on today while we close out the stream tonight. So there's a couple things that we can just be like, oh yeah, no, maybe. So
All right. PS Plus, great position right now. You know what I'm saying? I think we could take it up to the next level, gentlemen. I think my wild predictions are going to be centered around the services of PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to talk about Game Pass? Okay, that's fine. It's fine. We have our own services as well. You know what I'm saying? Let's start. Number 1, PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now will offer a bundled tier at $100 a year. It will include the PlayStation Now service, so you'll be able to have access to all of the games on PlayStation Now and the service, all that it will become on my later predictions. And PS Plus will also be bundled in to offer online multiplayer and discounts and 2 free PS5 games and PS4 games if they continue that a month. So just to kind of put that all on a nice bow, PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus will have a bundled option for $100 a year. Or you can pay separate as you are.
I forgot that you couldn't see me. I have my hand raised for 20 seconds.
Sorry, I'm sorry, my bad.
So the fact that they're bundled and then the fact that it's $100, are those two separate points?
No.
Okay.
This is 1 point.
So if they're bundled together and it's not $100, then you don't get it. If you're choosing to make them together like that.
I see where you're getting there.
Yeah, you could split it up.
Yeah, because I automatically, when you were just going, I put those at 2 points.
All right, fine. Let's split it up. I don't have a lot more points. Okay, cool. Fine. PS Plus and PS Now are bundled. Point number 1. Point number 2, $100 a year. You know, and the incentive is like, oh, why would I do that when I could pay $60 for PS Plus and then $10 a month? You're paying $120.
That's a fair point.
You know, so there's a way to break it down. Number 2.
3 actually.
We will. Sorry
to cut you off. Sorry.
Yeah, I got you. No, you get number 3. This is not a part of the point yet.
Okay. Let me know when.
If you guys recall, the image of the PS3 looking graph, right, had a lot of empty space. Okay. I think we're gonna return to that, and here is the point. I'm gonna call it this, but whatever they call it, it's fine. The legacy engine will be brought to PlayStation Now on the PS5 exclusively. This is going to be the main pull for getting PS Now on the PS5, and it will allow downloads of PS2, PlayStation 3, and PlayStation 4 games existing and to come on the service.
Okay. So right. what I have is legacy engine brought to PS Now only on PS5.
Yes. Only on PS5.
Is that a point?
Kevin's gonna end up with 15
18
points.
Yeah, it's like damn. Sure. Yeah, let's just make that a point. But no, I mean, but like
the legacy engine would include the other consoles, or you just specifying?
Include PC, PS3. Yeah. Okay. I'm specifying, so that's all 1 point. It's fine.
So only on PS5, PS Now will allow you to download PS1 through 3 and 4.
Yeah. It will not be possible on PS4.
Okay.
For whatever reason they want to explain away. Maybe it's a incentive to get PS5. That'd be kind of weird, but maybe it is. Who knows, right?
So when you say downloads, you're talking beyond just streaming that PS Now does currently with PS3 games.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So more equivalent to Game Pass.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
More equivalent to like the way they treat PS4 games on PS Now right now.
Gotcha.
Where you can stream or download. You'll have the option for all of it. Point number 4. With the legacy engine, they will introduce PlayStation 1 games with some iconic titles to start, and they will trickle every month. Let's say every month. Let's say they will add as we move on with time.
Do Nintendo
style? But we'll start with some iconic ones. Yeah. We'll start with let's say what's on the classic?
Classic as Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
That's it.
Let's start Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, Resident Evil Director's Cut. Yeah. Let's get a Twisted Metal. Let's get the big ones on here. But that one's gonna be a much slower pace, just as they come.
So that point was
number 4. PlayStation Plus introduces PlayStation 1 games with some iconic titles to start, but it'll be very limited in the beginning.
Okay.
Next point. I think it's point number 5, I think.
Point 5.
PlayStation VR games will be integrated into the PS Plus offerings every month. You will get not 2, let's say 1. I don't think they'll do 2. I think like the library of PSVR games, I don't know if it's that massive to like keep up with 2 games a month. And the install base doesn't really warrant it, honestly. But I think having 1 PSVR title every do they come to PS Now?
Now I have a question.
No. What's up?
For Jack and Galahad. Do you think that would count in the specific, like how would that, like if that just happens, but the initial idea of the wager where it's about PS Now and PS Plus coming together, like does it seem too separate to you, or like?
No, well, like I feel like any of Kevin's points right now, and any of our points, this is me speaking with my cloak on. if any of those things happen, you would get value from that, a point value from that.
Okay.
So like, for example, like if mine came in and there was a $299 version of the PlayStation 5, I would get a point for that. If the hard drive didn't match up my thing, I wouldn't get a point for that.
Right.
But like, yeah, Kevin's like in the weeds at like number 5 right now of his point. He would still get a point for that if that showed up at the conference.
Right. But
I have spoken.
the way I'm going from it is that, like with your predictions, they're all specifying specifically the fact that a third SKU of the PS5 exists. Like
sure, but he's all I get what you're saying, but like he's talking about the services at this point, so I feel like that's fair.
Okay.
That's how I rule on it, at least.
Okay. Thanks, man. Yeah, so PSVR gets added just to PS Plus. I won't bring PS now. PS Plus, PSVR. I think that makes more. I think that's more viable. This is my last point. Unless you want to split up, Christian, but I think this is gonna be my last point for sure that I've written down. PlayStation Now will get a revamp. These revamps will go into the design, the speed for streaming, and emphasize mobile use. They will roll out a PS Now application that you'll be able to also stream these games with your PlayStation Now service on your mobile device.
Question.
Yes.
Currently, they let you do that with a remote play, not PS Now, right?
They do, yes.
So you're talking like a specific app, right? Like similar to the xCloud app, the Stadia app, of like download this, and then you can use this service on your mobile phone. That's what you're saying.
This is your PS Now client on your phone.
Yes, not like you have to be close to your PS, like not the way that works currently. You're talking fully dedicated, unique thing that Apple doesn't want on the store.
A motherfucker. Oh, that one hurt. I forgot. Fuck. God damn it. Oh, shit.
Hey, we already saw 2 of them. I'm not saying that counts it out. I'm not saying that Apple being Apple about it makes that not true, because I would love to see that. That'd be great.
Well, I mean, I guess it would still pass if like it hypothetically comes to. Oh wait, no, because it's where can you get Game Pass on? Can you get Game Pass on Android? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You just said mobile. You didn't say iPhone, so you're good.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, I'll say
covering
mobile
your bases.
Devices. Yeah, I'll say mobile devices. But what I really want to highlight is I think PS Now will get, of course, a revamp in design because it needs it, but also more importantly, they will emphasize the speeds for streaming because they will be utilizing the Microsoft servers now. And I think that is a way that they can tout that. They could also do a little spruce on like, we now have a Wi-Fi 6 card in the PlayStation 5 and we have better networking overall. So of course for that digital PS5, let's add that on there as well. You know what I'm saying? Like a little bonus that you can do there. But yeah, that is all.
Nice. All right. So with that, let's run through the final wagers before we lock in and then wrap this thing up. Okay. Will the event start later than 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific? Jack says no. Christian said yes. Kevin said no. Anything to change there? We good?
We're good.
I'll lock it in.
All right, locked in. Getting highlighted. I was going to highlight in all black. Could not see it at that point. Number 2. Will Kratos get more than 3 kills? Jack said no. Christian said no. Kevin said no. No's across the board.
Confirmed.
We good?
Confirmed.
Confirmed. Will there be an obvious dig at Xbox and Microsoft example Shuhei and Boys doing the game trade? Jack says yes. Christian says yes. Kevin says no. Final answer. Locked in?
Confirmed.
Lock it in, Christian.
All right. How many times will we hear, quote, true 4K gaming, end quote? Jack said 2. Christian said 4. Kevin said 3.
Does gaming have to be included in that? Because I feel like
with the spirit of the question, it's like if they really are
true 4K
highlighting
experience, I think counts. Like,
okay,
yeah,
cool.
I think the fact that they're highlighting 4K,
I would say
like that they're speaking about it. I think that is the spirit of the question.
The only thing I would say does not count though that is similar is like native 4K. Like specifically when they're like bragging about it, when they're like true 4K, not like any of this fake stuff Xbox Series S is doing. Like specifically that tone about it.
Wait, native 4K won't count?
No.
Why wouldn't that count?
Because the thing is,
native is
true 4K gaming is like a buzzword that they just try to like brag about. Native is just like a feature list, you know.
But native is true 4K.
I might agree with Kevin on this one.
What do you tell us? Yeah,
but
native is
the
true
spirit
4K.
of it is the the snobbiness of it, like being like all cocky.
I think native is along those lines though.
I would argue upscale this that wouldn't count in my opinion.
I think that's what
upscale
you're
4K because that's not true 4K. I thought we were going off like native and true would be interchangeable. Like that would totally be acceptable.
No, we have in quotes true 4K gaming.
I understand what you're saying, but like, I think the question is more like that they're in fact even bringing up 4K gaming, and the fact that like native is true, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's in this situation that's a synonym. So I would have to agree with Kevin on that one.
All right.
After further consideration.
That's fine. We can do that.
Regardless, I'm still locking in my question.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm locking it
definitely upscale 4K. Like I wouldn't even count that.
Yeah, because also it's it's locked in already, but it's also again specified that we have to hear it. So I think someone would say true instead of native. I don't think you get a talking head saying native 4K.
Okay.
Yeah, this can also be decided
by the council
after the fact.
The order, excuse me.
The order.
Can you tell me one more person that's in the order?
I don't know yet. Maybe we'll know when we do the results. Maybe we'll know. Maybe somebody will reveal themselves in honor of a champion being crowned. But Galahad is the one that's communicating the most.
Okay, that's
Clank is definitely in the order though.
Clank might be, dude. There's somebody who's a little short. It might be Clank.
He's 100% in that.
I'm picturing like a bunch of silhouettes right now, like standing in like a hall. But you can like see the shapes, and there's one obvious one.
There's one really
that's
small.
Obviously Clank, bro. Like, come on.
Clank joined the order and Diz Ratchet. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Next up, will the PS5 launch before or after the Xbox Series? Jack says after. Christian says before. Kevin says after. Locked in?
Yes.
Confirmed.
Okay. Next up, will Sly Cooper steal something? Watch that be the one that decides it. Jack says no. Christian says yes. Kevin says no.
I want to be so upset. That's god damn it.
I gotta have faith in my boy.
Cooper.
Locking that in. We good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Confirmed.
How many things, specifically things, how many things will Miles punch? Jack says 15. Christian says 10. Kevin says 20.
Let's do it.
All right. Will Sackboy frown? Jack says no. Christian says yes. Kevin says yes.
Confirmed.
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 Okay. Will we see a new colorway to the PS5 or its accessories? This is the one that's... Jack says no. Christian says yes. Kevin says no.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. I said no.
Kevin said no.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. We might have to have a discussion about this one, Christian.
Maybe. What will be...
The council will confirm.
What will be the price... The order, excuse you.
Excuse me. The order will decide your fate.
What will be the price of the more expensive PS5? The closest bet gets it. Jack says $499. Christian says $599. Kevin says $499. We good on that one?
Wait, I thought yours was $549. Is that what you said?
Did I not say? I said $549. I'm sorry if I said 4.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. In the doc, it's $549.
Got it. Yeah.
That was a slip up. So Jack said $499. Christian said $549. Kevin said $499.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, we should probably add this. The Miles one, it's closest without going over. We said on that.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the only one that I think ended up like that.
Okay. Cool. Do we? Well, if that's the only one, you want to
just like
get rid of that?
Closest, whatever.
Yeah. Let's just do closest. That's fine. Okay. If that's the only one that's doing that, then there's no point.
How many seconds will Kojima be shown? Jack says 0. Christian says 25 seconds. Kevin says 0. Confirmed. Who will
Kevin,
announce...
Sorry, real quick. We were joking about this earlier, Kevin, but we are actually like having some of the same answers, so we might be teaming up on
That's
Christian.
what I'm saying. I'm like, it kind of worked out that way. I wasn't trying to do it while we were saying.
No, me either.
Yeah.
Who will announce the price of the PS5? Jack says nobody. Christian says Jim Ryan. Kevin, I forgot to write it down, but you said nobody, right?
I think I ended up on no one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Confirmed?
Confirmed.
Confirmed. Will a cigar be smoked? Jack says no. Christian says yes. Kevin says yes.
Confirmed.
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 No wacky tobacco.
Will a chocobo quail? Jack says no. Christian says no. Kevin says no.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Yeah, like I wanted to say yes.
Oh
shit.
I just locked it in. Do you wanna undo it? Do you wanna go to the order? You wanna plead your case?
You know what? Give me a yes. Hopefully I don't regret this. Fuck it, why not?
Let's do it.
Why not? Why not?
What will the price differential be between the PS5 digital versus the PS5 standard? Jack says $100 difference. Christian says $200 difference. Kevin says $150 difference. I'm sticking to
Confirmed.
200. Confirmed.
Wow.
That is pure faith and playing the odds. Okay.
Christian, I will bake you a cake if you're correct on that one.
I would love to eat that.
I'll ship you something, bro. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
All right. Wild wagers. Again, if I misrepresented anything, please clarify. Christian's wild wager. There's a Metal Gear remake from Kojima Productions. Those are 2 points. Third point is David Hayter is back as Snake. Fourth point, exclusive to the PS5. I am locking that in. No more additions, no modifiers. 4 points. Jack's wild wager. There's a third SKU of the PS5. That is 1 point. Digital version of the PS5 with less storage is what this is. That's point 2. Specifically, 256 gigabytes. Final point.
Well, is that? Excuse me. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Is that in the iterations of the SSD? Am I correct on that one?
Yes.
I think
you know how
there's
you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Then whatever that one is, yeah. Sorry.
Sure.
Sorry to interrupt.
And then fourth and final point, it matches the Series S at $299 US.
Locking it in.
Locking it in. Excellent. Now, Kevin's wild wager. PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now are bundled together. Point 1. Point 2, it's $100 per year. Point 3, it allows you to download PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 4 games only on PS5.
Wait, pause.
Yes.
On the first one, it's an option, right?
What do you mean?
It's not that like the only way you can get PS Plus or PS Now is
I will
through that
clarify that for you.
Yeah. It becomes a new option.
Yes,
to
a new.
get those
Okay.
two services.
Yeah. Like you can get them both separately, but like you can also.
Yes.
Definitely.
Together.
That's the way I took it as. Glad you just.
Yeah.
Did
I just want to make sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me start over. PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now are bundled together as a new option for the PlayStation Network. It's $100 per year. That's point 2. Point 3. Downloads of PlayStation 1 through PlayStation 4 games are available only on the PlayStation 5. Point 4. PS1 games are introduced starting with the big boys. And then we trickle down. Point 5. Yeah, point 5. PlayStation VR is being added to PlayStation Plus. And then point 6. A faster mobile capable version of PlayStation Now is coming in the future.
Also prettier PS Now, but I think that kind of goes into the revamp. So
Sure.
I'll lock it in.
Locking it in?
Yeah. Well, one of them's gotta happen, right? Fuck, imagine nothing happens. Shit. There's like, PS Plus, PS Now, they're fine.
All right.
It's all good.
So, I think that is everything in the first ever JoyClicks Conference Champion Wager War for the PS5 event, which is happening tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll be reacting to it over on PlayStation Source. Before we wrap up, is there anything we didn't cover that we think is going to be here? Because obviously we didn't go into launch lineup, we didn't go into backwards compatibility, anything like that. But before we go, anything you guys want to see? Anything crazy, wild predictions, not wild wagers, but more wild predictions, hopes and dreams, anything like that before we sign off?
I think in the press release after, because why would they say this? I was listening to your guys' Gamescast, and I was on Kevin's side for some of the arguments that he was throwing out. I think we get a price for Miles Morales, and it is not a full 60, but it's like it is the new $40 like SKU. So if the new next gen edition of the $40 is 50, then that's what it will be. It won't be like the full price.
Oh,
so like if it's
okay.
$70, if the new next gen is $70, which it is for some games, then this will be like the 50, right? This won't be the full price. Is what I see happening in the press release after.
Interesting.
I didn't think of it interesting. I do also side with Christian though. If like a Spider-Man PS4 remastered is bundled in, and if it's not an option to like, get Miles Morales without it for some reason, then it's full price for sure. But if it's like an option, then full price and then 50 or 40 or whatever for just Miles Morales.
Omar asked
I still see that as the 50 personally.
Omar asked if we think there'll be another PlayStation PC port announced.
Oh, I don't think at the PS5 showcase, but I think another one's coming.
Yeah, same.
But I don't think. I think Bloodborne's a good candidate. I think Days Gone's also a pretty good candidate as well.
Question.
Yes.
I don't know if Demon Souls being there would negate this, but do you think we might see like a 4K 60 version of Bloodborne announced for the PS5 and also PC?
I think that's a press release on the blog post on the Monday morning.
Okay.
Yeah. Honestly, because Bloodborne would get people talking. People love fucking.
Yeah, because the thing is, if during that
point.
presentation you just get the hints of the music and you see Yarnum again, people are gonna go crazy. It's like, oh, it's just a PS5 port, but hey, it's 60 frames.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but right. I think that's what you were just saying. But like, people would think Bloodborne 2, and then it's not, and it's like fuck.
Yeah,
right.
But if we see,
enough.
If we see more Bloodborne, it'll be the sequel.
Sure.
I don't think we'll be messing with any HG stuff.
Yeah. I think just because we're talking Souls, I think Demon Souls is probably a launch title. I was listening to some people earlier on a podcast say that maybe Miles isn't launched, like depending on when the PS5 launches, maybe Miles is December or something, and like I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility, but I think because Demon Souls was rated already, and because they made a big deal, like Shuhei introduced that at the showcase before, because people have wanted a remake of Demon Souls forever. It's a very, very notable game that I think would sell very well, and that would sell PS5s for a lot of people. I think I could see Demon Souls being a launch title, and I also think Sackboy is going to be launched. I could go either way on Miles. I think could be launch window, could be launch, could just be holiday. And holiday would be slightly after, but
I think Spider-Man's that game though. I think that's the game to sell people, even if it is at a lower price than the average game. Like your average Joe knows Spider-Man. Like if you see Spider-Man and like that's the game to get you to buy the next console, I think that over the games you were listing, I think that is the one that they're hedging their bets on. I think that's a day one game.
Yeah, I don't see Spider-Man not being a release launch day game. I think if you're gonna even like flirt with the idea of having a Spider-Man ready near launch, if it's not launched, like why even make Miles Morales at that point? Low key, kind of. I like kind of think that extreme about it, but not really.
I'll say this. I think they ran into an issue with the Vita where they put like all their heavy hitters out immediately, right? So I think if you want to spread it out a little bit over the course of the holiday season, and if Miles is a $40 game like you're saying, dude, like launch with the $60 Demon Souls remake and Sackboy's Adventure and whatever third-party stuff, and then get people spending again come the first week of December for Miles Morales on the PS5. Because like games like the GameCube, I think had a big. I think Smash dropped like 2 weeks after the GameCube came out or something like that. Like I think it's not out of the question, and I'm more on the side of Demon Souls being launched right now than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just not looking too hard enough in it, but like I don't even I didn't, and like I know Demon Souls did get rated, so that just blows up what I'm about to say entirely. But like I would imagine like Miles Morales launch, Demon Souls takes that February release that like Horizon took, etc., and then like Ratchet and Clank is like May.
Maybe, yeah. Like, because also
You know,
Blue
but
Point
probably
hasn't.
not.
Yeah, Blue Point. The last thing they shipped was Shadow of the Colossus, and that was like 2018, I think. Like, it was a long time ago, like January or something like that. Like, Spider-Man was still 2018, but that was more recent. Like, and they were probably. I doubt Insomniac was working on Miles before Spider-Man shipped, but like Blue Point, I think, was working on this project before Shadow shipped, because like they were saying like, oh, before Shadow launched, they're like, our next thing's bigger than this. So like, I think there's a chance, but
yeah, that, and then plus like the rating on there just completely just blows out my whole logic. For
sure, yeah. But yeah. Jack, what about you? You got any final thoughts?
No, that was pretty much it. I think Metal Gear for me would drive me nuts. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
If Kojima comes back and is like, hey, look, I didn't get a fair shake at the end of my series, right? Mm-hmm. Like MGS5 did not end the way I wanted it to, and my departure there just like stopped me from working on it. I think if PlayStation were to buy Metal Gear, that would be huge. And there's been a lot of speculation from industry insiders being like, hey, I think PlayStation might have something up its sleeve for this conference. And even if Metal Gear is like, we have Metal Gear, you'll get it when you get it.
Yeah.
I think that's one of those things that they could have at the event. Granted, I think most of the stuff here will be like launch or launch window. Like, there's no point in talking about Horizon again, I don't think. That doesn't make sense to me personally, because I feel like it's focused on buy a console this fall. I feel like Metal Gear could be one of those things where that rule doesn't matter, where it's like, we have Metal Gear now, and it's back at PlayStation, and Kojima's doing it again. I think that could be one of those things.
Yeah, that would be insane.
Yeah, because you make good points. I'm still, I think, more on the side of like, I think they want to sell the future as well, and I think Metal Gear does that, just like a God of War 2 teaser or a Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2 thing would. But yeah, I think you framed it in an interesting way, where like, even if it is a remake, like my wild wager, you'd still be able to sort of get some kind of closure from where 5 leaves off, you know. So,
and that's a good point too. Like, selling the future. The reason people are buying consoles right now is for the promise of the games in the future, because like launch window games and launch release games generally aren't the best.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's always like the year 2, year 3 games where it's like, all right, now we're in the heavy hitters. Now we're getting Uncharted 4. Now we're getting Horizon, like, you know, those types of games that we saw in the PS4. So I think that's a good point as well. But I think it'll mostly be focusing on launch day and year 1/6 months this conference.
Yeah, because like, even though we do expect some things, like we all expect God of War 2, for me at least, until it's like slightly tangible, even if it is just like a you'll get it when you get it sort of thing, until like it's confirmed officially, because things get canceled all the time, like until it's actually something that's been promised to us, for me, it's like it doesn't exist. So Kevin, final thoughts? Anything last up?
Anything else at this? Oh my god, we didn't even talk about it that much. I think we're for sure gonna. I mean, let me not say for sure. I really, really hope Factions 2 is here. I really hope so. I think it would be a nice thing to even show the Naughty Dog logo at all. You know what I'm saying? But for it to be Factions 2, bet. I know it's not the most like grand appeal thing. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not really gonna. I don't know if that's a console seller, to be honest with you. I don't think it is per se, but at least the crowd that. Do y'all remember how loud the crowd was when they said that it wasn't coming to part 2? Like, that was pretty loud. Granted, it was pretty loud in our gaming echo chamber, but I think that's a decent amount of people. You know, that I think it would be really, really cool if they showed factions too. Overall, and just to have Naughty Dog involved with PS5 stuff now, you know, I think would be cool.
I think you're right. I agree. I think it's likely, but Jack, what about you? You're on the same page?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about Naughty Dog today, for this specific like stream that we're doing. Like I don't know if this is true or not. I could totally see them doing like another Left Behind situation with part 2. In my head, I don't know how it would work in the story because I don't think it's like set up in a way like that. I guess it could.
Kevin, say it.
No, it is. You just
Jesse?
told Tommy.
Oh.
You told Tommy's point of view. We have a lot of Tommy, but we don't know we don't know what he did. We know where he went. We know that he shot at Abby and Yara or Lev. Yara?
No, it was Abby and
it was Yara, and but he was with the other one of the men in the
WLF, the guy.
Oh my god, yeah, the homie.
Yeah,
oh my god,
I'm forgetting his name.
I forgot his name too, but him, Manny. So like we told, and then Jesse will be there because Jesse left Ellie to go be with Tommy for a little bit there. Like I think there could be some really cool stuff there. I think that's almost set up for itself for sure.
Now that's actually a really good point.
That was Tommy's story.
Yeah, that's essentially like Left Behind in a way, right? Like it's like from a different character's perspective that we didn't get to see at the time, right? So I think that's really cool.
Maybe we also get to see why, or like more context as to why Tommy and his wife broke up. Maria, right? We maybe get more context as to why he was so aggressive with Ellie, being like, "Yo, like Abby's over here. Let's go. Let's finish this out." You know, like I think that almost writes itself. I think that could be really cool.
Now, I thought you were going somewhere different with this, Kevin. This is the final thing I'll throw out there.
Oh,
I saw it earlier today in the PlayStation Source Discord. I saw this tweet, but I just kind of scrolled past it. So Troy Baker, there was a trend going around where people were like, the first game you worked on and the last game you worked on, or the most recent one. Troy Baker posted Brothers in Arms, Road to Whatever as his first game he did VO on, and then he did a black screen that just said NDA, and then he replied to the tweet and said, "It's the prequel we never thought we'd get from Redacted." Now, is this a Samuel Drake story? Is this a Revolver Ocelot story? What are we doing with this?
Prequel we never thought we'd get.
Final Fantasy 13?
Read that, but I didn't think of prequel that we never thought we'd get, huh? Prequel that we never thought we'd get. I think is the San Diego game about Sam Drake?
Maybe.
Like prequel style? I don't think that works out, does it? Wait, when was Sam actually released from prison? Not the fake story.
I don't remember.
In the trial. I forgot.
Yeah, I don't know I actually don't even know the timeline on that.
Because
was it like right before the events of Uncharted 4, or was it like?
I think it was close before.
Yeah.
I think because I know like there's a lie in the beginning,
right?
Well, the whole breakout thing.
Yeah, it could be like him as a teenager after, or like in like Tom Holland age, I guess. Synthesis with the movie, I suppose. Age after the orphanage, where he's like leading that sort of life of crime, I suppose. But yeah, I honestly don't think that would happen.
Yeah, I don't necessarily even want that either.
No,
I don't think it would be Joel either.
Like Joel and Tommy prequel, maybe.
Yeah, Joel and Tommy prequel. Those rough 20 years that they always bring up. Yeah. Well, not always bring up, but like mainly brought up in the Tommy conversation.
Sure.
At the dam in Last of Us 1, that Tommy references a lot. I don't know if it's that either. I feel like, I don't know. Do you think it would kind of like less impact the events of part 2?
No.
Overall?
If it's a prequel, no.
I don't know if I want that explained to me though. But like that's just a me thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like to a certain degree, like everyone was kind of trepid on like a part 2 to a degree, wavering degrees, but but then now we got it. Now we're all pleased that we got it. So
right.
And I trust Naughty Dog. So I mean, there's that. But interesting.
Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see if Troy Baker's mysterious game is going to be revealed tomorrow. But that's going to do it for our predictions. Shout out to everybody who came by in the chat tonight. We got Omar, Owen, of course, Shadow, Kevin Mack, love to see you. Raisin, glad to have you here. What else we got? Lots of Owen, Omar, Mega, Video Game Deity, backing up what Kevin said about the Cory Barlog cryptic tweets.
God, yeah,
I don't know, man.
Dude, the timing is too coincidental, bro. What got me was the ice. I didn't even notice that till just now.
Yeah,
that's clearly referencing Ragnarok, right?
Mm-hmm. Probably Fimbulwinter, right?
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
Like that's yeah.
Well, until tomorrow, though, Jack, where can the people find you?
Sure. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at FascinatedJack. Christian and I got a Pokemon podcast on JoyClicks. It's called My First Mon. We're playing through Pokemon Crystal. It's my first time playing through it. Christian's played it through once or twice before, so he's guided me through that, and it's a good time.
Yeah, new episode just went up yesterday, so you can check that out. Kevin, what about you? What do you got to plug? Where can we watch reactions with us tomorrow?
You can, of course, watch them on YouTube Constant's PlayStation Source. Setting up the stream tonight. I just want to set up a little bit late. That way it's fresh in your sub boxes. You know what I'm saying? Not that much scrolling. As well as if you want some of my, worst things that could happen tomorrow, check out the latest video. PlayStation cannot mess this up. Road to PS5 this week. We'll, of course, break down the whole show as well on Sunday. And we'll start Crash 2 probably tomorrow night, I think. Just to kind of talk casually about the conference. But Crash stream series heads on. Yeah, you can watch the full you can watch the full Crash 1 stream series on playlist on the channel. And Gamescast as well, of course. I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about Gamescast this week. So
yeah, Kevin, gotta get brushed up on that Crash lore for when you're writing a full page of fan fiction next week.
Oh man, bro. Oh, I forgot about that. Shoot, I really forgot about that. Yeah. Do I have to write it?
Oh yeah, you have to.
Oh, I didn't know we had to write it. I thought
I led with this. I said you had to write and read.
Oh,
one page, 12-point font.
Oh god, that's
I was under the impression that we would just copy and paste something.
Yeah, I thought we'd find
we don't support plagiarism.
Christian, you're trying to give me homework?
Yeah, this is like
I already got homework, bro.
Then hey, maybe you should have thought of that when you were making your wagers.
Oh man, yikes!
All right, yeah, well, I might have to miss the deadline on that one.
I may have to plagiarize some things, honestly. I may have to plagiarize that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a cruise for a little bit.
That actually sounds fun, though. Now that you say it,
yeah. So, again, that's why I said it doesn't have to be sexual. You don't have to be writing.
Oh, it's fucking smart.
Yeah. Okay. Now that we're writing it, it's a wrap. Sonic, let's go. All the Speed Force.
Hey, you got to read it out loud too. Remember that. So,
get a little insight into our psyches.
You can
Barry
follow
Allen
me
and Wally West
on Twitter and Instagram and Twitch at Chris N. Buckley. YouTube.com/JoyClicks is where you are right now. Like I said, like these guys said, we got a bunch of shows that we do together every week. You can look forward to those. They're on playlists. Group streams usually every Tuesday, so we're going to be dealing with the fallout of this next week. Seeing what our minds come up with, whoever loses.
I already have the first line of what I want to say.
Christ.
Christian, before you outro out.
Yes.
You're not looking at Twitter, right? Don't look at Twitter. You're not looking at Twitter, right? Can I break some really good news to you? I think that you might like.
Okay.
Nintendo has announced the September lineup of classic Nintendo Switch Online games, including Donkey Kong Country 2.
Oh, nice.
Oh, never mind. That'd be a bigger deal. Never mind. Just kidding.
64 has my heart. The Country trilogy is great. I'm excited. It's good. It's there. That's good to know.
Super Picross and the Peacekeepers as well.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
Mario Super Picross.
There's no reference of N64 though.
Negative Ghost Rider. It's only NES and SNES.
Last second, six string Phantoms at $600. That's my guess. Lock it in.
Whoa.
But yeah, and if you also would like to support the channel and get involved with the streams, what we do sometimes when we can't figure out what to do for group streams, or get involved with the shows, $2 tier, patreon.com/joyclicks. We also have $1 tier for early access for most of our shows. Tomorrow's Jedi Knights is already up for $1 patrons. And $5 tier gets you producer credit on everything, all our podcasts. So that's going to do it. Gentlemen, thank you once again. I hope we make it out of this with some dignity.
Oh, man.
Absolutely not.
And until tomorrow on PlayStation Source, it's pizza time.
It's pizza time.
Pizza time.